Their treatment is in the hands of an expert, a licensed local orthodontic specialist who improves their smiles by correctly aligning teeth and jaws. Some kids think they'll never smile again, but donated orthodontic services may help them smile with confidence. To link to the application and eligibility requirements, visit aaoinfo.org.
Way to go, Swifties! You listened, you voted, and they won!
New Heights!
Congrats to the Kelsey brothers on their New Heights podcast, winning Podcast of the Year at our 2024 iHeart Podcast Awards.
We did it! We won Podcast of the Year?
According to iHeart Podcast Awards, we did.
You guys make this show what it is. We truly appreciate you guys. We love you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
Listen to New Heights on America's #1 podcast network, iHeartRadio. Open your free iHeart app and search New Heights to listen now.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
The pounding begins. The wagons are circled. Every wind is raidered. It's football time in America, and this republic has never been stronger. The Sportsocracy, Beer City's best sports talk, live from the Ingalls studio.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy is heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app, seen everywhere on YouTube. Let's go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, join us in the chat. It is it's a free-for-all free agent frenzy Friday. I love it.
That's a lot of F's.
That's a lot of alliteration.
It's a lot of F's, and none of them are my favorite ones.
I've been thinking it's Monday all day because I had actually took a day off yesterday, and
it's got Tank all screwed up.
It does. It really does. Anyhow, it is a Friday. Happy Friday to everyone. Hope you've got a big weekend planned. We know Flostradamus has a big weekend planned because it's a big old celebration day.
It's a celebration.
Tomorrow will be his 37th
Correct.
birthday.
I will be 37 U.S. years old tomorrow.
That's right. So happy birthday to the Flo.
Which is, without a doubt, probably the most mundane birthday that I've ever had.
37?
Yeah.
Any specific reason? Or?
Well, I mean, it's not the first year towards 40, which was last year. It's not 35, which is halfway to 40, which the year before that was.
Mm-hmm.
This is just like, hey, I was born this day many moons ago.
It's not a milestone.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that it is now officially 12 years past the day you thought you were going to die. So.
Oh yeah, I've made it. I've had a hell of a run. Let's put it this way.
Yes. Yeah.
I've gotten further than many people ever thought I would, and we've only but just begun.
We've got the ACC tournament going on. The Tar Heels are still alive. You'll hear the Tar Heels tonight right here on ESPN Asheville.
Hey, Duke is poopy.
Yeah, they are.
They're not good at the basketball.
Yeah, they are. Let's go. Congratulations to the NC State Wolfpack for pulling off the upset last night, winning me some cash on the old DraftKings account. Thank you very much.
I woke up this morning and went, man, that feels good. Because this time I actually had notifications. I didn't have to send off with a pigeon and get a hieroglyph that explains to me how many doubloons I made. No, DraftKings just went, hey, you want a whole lot of bets? And you made a whole lot of money. Good for you, mulleted moron.
I hope everybody's having fun with their newfound love. At least it's mine for now, while there's still money in the account.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the time that Tank has to reload with his actual monies.
Oh, shoot.
I won 47 cents on DraftKings yesterday.
Yeah. Yay. Good for you, Tank. Download that DraftKings app now. We'll tell you more about that coming up later on in the program. Congratulations again to the NC State Wolfpack. Moving on to the semifinals of the ACC tournament. So tonight we've got Carolina and Pitt, and then we've got NC State and Virginia, which is always fun when Virginia brings the ball to the party.
Which means you're going to watch two games, one of which will be a bloodletting, and then another where you're going to have to poke two teams with a stick and go, is blood still coursing through your body?
Yes.
because you're not moving nearly enough.
No, not nearly enough. Big weekend in basketball with all the conference championships. We've got Bristol this weekend.
It's Bristol, baby!
Yeah, the Food City 500, the throwback race. Everybody's going to have throwback paint schemes on their cars. It's going to be real cool. I'll be there on Sunday. Have a lot of fun with that. Mark Starling's bachelor party is this weekend, so I'm doing that tomorrow and then going to the race on Sunday and then turn around right back here and do it all again next week.
I got invited to Starling's bachelor party. What does that look like?
Let me say it's the most anti-Jeremy Greene party you've ever heard of.
Sweet. So it's not like my bachelor party.
No.
Where we wound up in Vegas as a four-man wolf pack and I got left on top of a building to cook in the sun.
You wish that was your bachelor party.
I've had 3 bachelor parties, and frankly, 2 of them would put me on watch lists if anybody knew what happened.
Yeah, no. It's just, good times, good friends, good beverages. None of the wild and crazy stuff.
I mean, it's on my birthday, so I couldn't go.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm sure you got wild and crazy stuff planned for your big 37th birthday party.
Actually, I'm going to have a good steak and hang out with my wife, my daughter, and my parents.
Yep.
This will be a low-key birthday.
Oh, okay.
At least this weekend. Because I go birth week. So mine will start tomorrow. And then there will be just debauchery that flows next week.
Okay. All right. So it's going to be a jam-packed weekend, Selection Sunday. Coming up on Sunday, it's a good time for us to announce that we will be kicking off the NCAA tournament weekend with you at the Village Porch on Friday of next week. It's way too much to ask Jeremy and I to do back-to-back live shows in a bar. We can only do the one day.
Oh, I
I
volunteered to do Thursday, and you immediately went, I am not trying.
Not doing that.
Tank said, I learned my lesson in Indianapolis when I got saved by a former Eagles running back that kept me from getting flattened by a car.
Yes.
I don't think that could happen in Reynolds Mountain, but I don't want to risk it.
Exactly. So Friday of next week, we will be live at the Village Porch, 51 North Merriman Avenue. It is the football home of the Sportsocracy, but really just the sports home of the Sportsocracy, as we'll be celebrating the second day of the NCAA tournament, or this is technically the third day, but nobody cares about the first 4. Can we stop doing that?
Yeah, I don't care. It's the first 2 days.
We'll
be there for day 2.
Awesome. We will be there next Friday. So come on out and join us. We're going to have all kinds of specials we'll be telling you about, all that coming up, leading up to said event at the Village Porch. Now,
we're also doing our March Madness bracket through them, so we will have all of those things up on the social medias at some point this weekend.
Now we have business to attend to. Jeremy, did you put your business socks on today? Because there's a lot of business going on in the NFL.
Making love for 2 minutes.
Minnesota Vikings have acquired a second first-round draft pick. That was the big news of today, as the Vikings have acquired the 23rd overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft from the Houston Texans, along with a 7th-round pick. And the Texans are getting back a 2 this year, number 42, a 6th-rounder this year, and a 2nd-round pick in 2025. Why, oh why, Flostradamus, would the Minnesota Vikings feel they need a pick at 23 and at 11?
Well, this kind of goes to that favorite line of mine. When you hear hoofbeats, it makes a lot more sense to assume horses than zebras. So there's only 2 ways you could look at this. Either they have a player they really love that they think is going to be there at 23. I'm going to say I find that a little difficult to believe. Or they have had conversations with a team, go Chargers, go, that maybe things aren't going exactly how they want it to, and they're going to have to replenish some talent by making a move down. And they were informed that, yeah, that first-round pick next year, that's cute, and we probably going to want that too. We want 2 in this draft. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing that makes sense. So I did the one thing that always will be truth serum. I went to DraftKings Sportsbook to see what happened to the odds. Right now, the odds on Caleb Williams being the number 1 pick are what?
Minus 400.
1,200.
Okay, 1,200.
Which is a really nice way of saying that's fitting to happen.
Right.
Jaden Daniels has now swelled to minus 175.
At number 2.
At number 2.
Okay.
But then I scrolled down and a weird thing happened. Number 3 is a lot cloudier. And there's 4 players that are listed there. Why could that possibly be? Oh, because there's a possibility that New England is the team that they have talked to. We've heard reports that New England would be willing to trade down because they're not dead sold on taking a quarterback the entire process. I've also told you for no less than a full year that Minnesota is all aboard the Drake May hype train. I would not say I would say there's a considerably better than 0% chance that Drake May ends up with the Minnesota Vikings. That's what this trade told me.
Yes.
Because you're not going to sit at 12. Or 11.
11.
Excuse, they're at 11.
They're at 11.
They're at 11. Denver's at 12.
Mm-hmm.
Raiders are at 13. You're not going to sit at 11 and just hope that somebody falls in your lap.
No.
You made this move to make another move. Now it's just a question of finding where that landing spot is. And for me, it's only New England or the Chargers. Or the Cardinals, in theory, if New England gets stuck there and takes Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, which I don't feel like that'll happen. To me, this is not a wait till draft night move.
Oh, no, I would say this could be done before we reconvene.
Over the weekend.
This could get done over the weekend. Because if you look back on the history of trades that have happened here, the last one that happened early was the Jets and the Colts when they traded up, oddly enough, for current Minnesota Vikings starter Sam Darnold, who's on his 4th team.
Mm-hmm.
That happened right about this week. I want to say that happened March 26th is the date that I have in my head. Minnesota's going to go get a quarterback. That's what this move signals.
Yes.
And Houston is looking at the roster going, we're real good, and we're not real worried about adding a player there at 23.
So with the move, it's clear that they're getting up somewhere. What? Oh, my gosh.
Hold on.
I love it when he makes that face.
That can't be. You keep talking. You're about to see my head.
Okay. You want me to hit the breaking news sound?
Yeah.
All right.
I do.
Let's do this.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
I figure I might as well say this just as simply as Adam Schefter just tweeted it. Rams defensive tackle Aaron Donald has announced his retirement. He gone.
Wow.
Aaron Donald posted, "Cheers to what's next, extending a big thank you to the Rams and all of the fans for your support over these last 10 years. Much love." And
Holy
Aaron Donald
smokes.
is out.
That is insane.
But
why? That's
well,
my
Aaron Donald
question.
has different aspirations.
I know he
he's
does.
talked about retiring before.
Of course, we went through the whole thing. Will he come back after the Super Bowl? Will he not? Just seems weird. So he did come back. He signed another 3-year deal, I believe it was.
Yes.
And then that was 2 years ago, or that's just been a year ago.
Yes. He's walking away
he's
from
done.
a lot of money.
Yeah. I wish him luck. I wish him luck in all his endeavors.
Well, it's ironic. The timing of this is so ironic because there is a move that happened yesterday that's real interesting to me. And then Aaron Donald retires today.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge loss for the Rams.
What was the other move?
No, I don't know. It has an affiliation with a quarterback that we're pretty fond of. Might happen to know personally.
Why would that have
It's just ironic.
anything to do with
Oh,
Aaron
I'm not
Donald
saying
calling
I'm not
quits?
saying it has anything. I said it was ironic. I didn't say
Oh.
that it had anything to do with it.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't know. Understand what path you're going down here. Wow. Aaron Donald calling it quits.
Evan Doyle said somebody should check on my buddy Jake Ellenbogen. I'm going to send him a text in the break. 'Cause
Yeah,
he's-
if you have any Rams fans
GG
in
Gambling,
your
how
life.
you feeling right now?
Ooh. But they restructured his contract, and then he quit.
Well, the
and then he
restructuring
retires.
was for this purpose.
Okay. So they restructured his contract, freed up another $9.2 million in cap space, and that was just, here, this will take care of it and go away? Or is there still dead money left on this?
There will always be dead money left because there will be things that you have paid to him that have not cleared the cap. Now, restructuring it like that can allow you to move some of the deck chairs around a little bit. But, I mean, the biggest thing is now you've got a defense that was really predicated on Aaron Donald, and now you have no Aaron Donald.
Unbelievable.
That changes
For
a lot.
years.
And, you know, you add that with the Minnesota news of the trade and free agency. I mean, I hate to channel my inner Christopher Walken here, but I got a fever. There's only one cure.
Mock draft.
Gonna be a mock draft!
It's got to be a mock draft. Aaron Donald.
Third hour of this here program, we're gonna do it live, folks.
Aaron Donald retiring from the NFL at the age of 32. One of the most decorated defensive linemen of all time. He is number one on the Mount Rushmore of defensive tackles. He's one. Two's where the debate can start.
Talent, he's one. I don't know that I agree with you on that. He's the most talented defensive tackle. Well, I mean, there's a couple that I'm thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
Warren Sapp, predominantly.
He's two. I'm a Warren Sapp super fan, and I'm saying he's two. Aaron Donald was better.
There's no doubt he was better. I'm talking about in terms of total career. I'm not sure somebody that walked away at 32 years old, you can just go, yeah, he's no doubt there. It's the same problem I have with Calvin Johnson.
Right.
Calvin Johnson's the most talented receiver I've ever seen.
Yeah.
No, don't have that problem with Barry
You don't
Sanders.
have that problem with Barry.
Weird. Barry was that much better than everybody else. I don't really care when he walked away.
You got him above Jim Brown?
Yes.
Okay.
Jim Brown played in a time when they had leather helmets. So, sorry, I don't.
Quite. But
Yeah, Jim
close.
Brown was running over dudes that had day jobs as plumbers. So, yeah sorry. And I'm not saying, I'm not trying to diminish him in any way. It's just, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Know how I feel.
The one thing that will always stick out about Aaron Donald is he was an 8-time first-team All-Pro.
Yes.
That means he was the best for 8 years in the NFL.
He is the best defensive player. Bill Belichick said this in our YouTube comments. He's the best defensive player I've ever seen. I agree with you. He is the best defensive player I've ever seen.
You're in the Sportsocracy. Yep.
Now, we do have a super chat that we will get to when we start the next segment because it is about what the next segment is about. We're going to put a pin in the Aaron Donald thing for right this second because we've had, it's the negative of having to take a day off during free agency. If only things that we needed to talk about had happened in the last 24 hours. Oh, and one of them did, and it involves a multiple-time Pro Bowler going to a fun new place.
Here to enjoy life. Stop letting that pain in your joints keep you from doing what you want to do this spring. Call QC Kinetics now. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. I'm talking lasting joint pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. It's a fact. QC Kinetics is literally transforming lives. Their advanced treatments harness your own body's ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Pro athletes have been doing this for decades, but now this life-changing treatment is available for you, so you can walk and run and climb stairs and play golf and move again pain-free. No pain pills, no risky surgery. This is an all-natural solution. QC Kinetics has tens of thousands of satisfied patients who have reclaimed their mobility. Take action now and live your best life this spring and summer. It's a great use of your tax refund check, by the way. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. Phone 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517 in Asheville and in Greeneville.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Babbel. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at babbel.com/TNC.
My new exercise bike. Yeah, more like my $1,500 coat rack.
At Babbel, we get it. Learning something new is hard, especially a new language.
My Spanish starts and ends at Adios.
Make it easy on yourself with Babbel. In just 10 minutes a day, you can start having real conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
Hola, Espanol.
It starts here. To try Babbel free, text radio to 64,000. Text radio to 64,000.
The wait is over. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of NASCAR, is now live in North Carolina. Now you can legally bet on all your favorite sports anytime, anywhere, right here in North Carolina with DraftKings. For a limited time, new customers who sign up with the promo code WPEK and bet $5 will receive $200 instantly in bonus bets. DraftKings has the best features, including same-game parlays, player props, and more, with fast and easy payouts right at your fingertips. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now using code WPEK and bet $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code WPEK. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook/NC. NASCAR is not a sponsor of this promotion and used under license.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
It's the moment you dream of, the moment you work for, train for.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
It is ESPN Asheville. We are the Sportsocracy, and it's time to get to our first super chat of the day. Yeah! And it comes to us from Curtis Davis. He says, words can't even describe how bummed I am that Keenan Allen is not on my team anymore. I still trust the process, but I can't lie. I'm starting to believe that there might be war in what? Bossing say? What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
Bolt up,
yeah.
And I miss him.
Bolt up,
and I get it.
Okay.
I 100% get it. When that trade came down last night, first of all, can we stop doing things when Jeremy's already libated? Okay, because I see that and I go, I don't know what to do with that. He goes to the Bears for a 4th-round pick.
Yep.
I understand Charger fans being upset because now it's a Last Airbender reference. I never saw it.
No, yeah,
no. I understand being upset with Mike Williams gone, with Keenan Allen now traded off. The only thing I will tell you, and I'm just going to answer all of you that have asked me this question in the chat. Do I think there's anything to the Justin Jefferson to the Chargers rumors? Not really. I really don't. Because Minnesota's positioning all these things to draft a rookie quarterback, and then I'm going to take the best receiver away?
Doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make any sense to me. Now, am I telling you that there's not going to be a move? No. Because I would say there will be. You've got Quentin Johnston, who they did invest a 1st-round pick in, but it was not this front office. You've got Josh Palmer, and let's just say they don't make a move. Let's say the Chargers make no move. There is a guy that plays predominantly out of the slot that I think is pretty good, and I keep hearing how people like him better than Roma Dunze.
Oh, Malik Neighbors.
Malik Neighbors.
Yeah.
And if you're telling me you got QJ and Josh Palmer and Malik Neighbors, okay, I'm good. And also, as a Jet fan, selfishly, I'm going, you mean that means there's still a chance on Joe Alt? Is that what you're telling me?
At 10, I don't like your chance.
I didn't say it was at 10. I said there's a chance he doesn't go at 5. which means maybe we have a New York connection and call up those New York football giants.
I'm sure they'll be willing to help you out.
Kelvin Joyner said we just showed our age. All right.
With The Last Airbender?
That's
Okay.
a cartoon, right?
Yeah, it is a cartoon.
Last Airbender's a cartoon.
Yes.
The last cartoon I watched was Bugs Bunny in 1991. All right, I started running 6-leg parlays right about the time that I stopped pooping in my pants. So,
although he is right,
I'm still a youngman now. He's 80. So,
oh yeah.
But that's so out of my wheelhouse of things that I would ever know about. Now you throw a league reference at me, you throw virtually any gin pop thing at me, and I'm gonna know what it is.
Yeah, anything that's Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, Last Airbender, Naruto,
Anime.
all that. Japanese.
I'm lost at anime
stuff. No,
I can't
out.
stop watching their mouths. Like it's very distracting.
Yes, I had a tough time watching Speed Racer when we were a kid.
I never did. But anyway, where we started this was
drinking whiskey up my bottle.
Yeah, it was. Man, it's doing man things. I don't think all hope is lost for the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't. I think Jim Harbaugh has come in. He's looked at a roster that was super top heavy. I mean, just think about what I'm going to say here. They had 4 of the top 12 cap hits in the NFL. There are 32 teams in this league. You had 4 of the most expensive players in the league. And now, this part, some of you Charger fans are not going to like what I'm getting ready to say. How many of those 4 players were actually top 12 best players in the league? That answer is 0. Keenan Allen's a good, really good, legendary receiver. He ain't one of the 5 best receivers in the league anymore.
No.
He's not. You were paying him like he was. But now Jim Harbaugh's looking at this going, I've got to dethrone Pat Mahomes. That's my job. And I trust him to do that. It might take a year. But I'm not worried. This is how it had to go. And you've got Khalil Mack for another year. You've got Bosa for another year. You hope the defense comes together. I think it will.
At some point, you had to shed away the old and busted, basically. And that's what you've done.
It's not so much that it was old and busted. It was just not going to win a Super Bowl.
And it's not to say that, Keenan doesn't have good years left. He does. But is he going to continue to be worth something?
Well, he just had arguably the best year of his career.
Mm-hmm. But I'm talking about on the trade market, right? Like,
he's worth a 4th-round pick at that cost.
Right, like now is the time to shed all of the and move into the new era, I guess is what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, this is what new front offices do. Jim Harbaugh was brought in here because it is going to take something very aggressive to dethrone Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs. The biggest fear is that the Chargers are going to have a quarterback like Justin Herbert, whose career goes very similarly to Drew Brees, Dan Fouts, and Phillip Rivers. You know what all 3 of those guys have in common? They didn't win a Super Bowl with a bolt on their helmet. LaDainian Tomlinson, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the fear. And look, I get it. I understand losing players. I understand it hurts. I understand it's going to hurt next year, week 1, when you see him line up with a receiving core that, by the way, is really, really good all of a sudden. Because I still think they take Rome Odunze at 9. And you could have Rome, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, and DeAndre Swift.
With Caleb Williams.
Mm-hmm. That makes me feel way warmer and way fuzzier about Caleb Williams.
You might actually have a 4,000-yard passer, Chicago.
I'm not sure I couldn't throw for 4,000 yards throwing to that group. You may have your first. You may have a 5,000-yard passer before you have a 4,000-yard passer.
It's a deal that I believe works nicely for everyone. It gives Chicago a leg up to build around their rookie quarterback, and meanwhile you get to do the whole new coach, new start kind of thing. Justin Herbert hasn't had. I guess this hasn't felt like Justin Herbert's team to me since he got there. It's just They've just kind of tried to fold him into what they've always been doing. Now is a chance to build something around Herbert with cutting the ties of the past.
Well, in our YouTube chat, Colin Greene said, hate to break it to y'all, in 2 years, Herbert will be gone if he doesn't win, I promise. Well, you should tell his contract that, because he is, I'm not going to say completely unmovable. It's as close as you could possibly get.
He's unmovable.
And they did that on purpose.
He's especially unmovable if he doesn't win.
No, the winning has nothing to do with it. The contract is so onerous, you would have to overpay to such an unbelievable degree that nobody's going to do it. And the Chargers wouldn't even listen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he can be as angry as he wants to be. The problem with that is the minute you put your little Johnny Hancock on that piece of paper, you basically said, bolt up. I'm here, and I trust the process. That's kind of what Jim Harbaugh's currently looking at, is that I have an answer at the most important position. And I see what everybody's saying about he'll never win anything. He has the talent to win. From the top down, you've got a I'm not going to say a dysfunctional franchise, but you have a franchise that has a history of wasting high-end talent like this. That's why you go get a Jim Harbaugh. I mean, look, if you don't think that between the New York Jets, the Denver Broncos, the Minnesota Vikings, all the other teams he's interviewed with over the course of the last 3 years, if you don't think there was a job offered to him, I have a bridge to sell you. Now, did it come out of that building? No. Because they went into the building, hey, Jim, we'd love to have you. And he went, don't know that I can win here. If it was in Minnesota, he would have been looking around at, Kirk Cousins is getting older. He's never going to be better than the ninth best quarterback in the league. I don't know that I can win a Super Bowl that way. Denver had, let's ride. I'll pass. I'm good. I don't want to attach my one shot to that. The Jets are horribly dysfunctional. But then he got to the Chargers and went, there's enough here. L.A. is beautiful. We have a beautiful new stadium. I can get people to come here, and I have a quarterback. That's a place I can win. So is it possible that we're going full Alfred from Batman here? The night is darkest just before the dawn, Master Wade. Possibly.
Well, you want to build for the future. You got a brand new era starting, and it's kind of like it is right here in the state of North Carolina. It's a brand new era because DraftKings Sportsbook is live in our state as of Monday. It's been almost a full week.
It's been a great week.
How have you been building your bankroll since then? Have you been building your bankroll? If you haven't, you've been missing out on a lot of free money on the app. They had another one last night. You just put money down on it, up to $25. They'll double your money if the two teams combined score 1 point. You got things like that pop up all the time on the DraftKings Sportsbook app, an official sports betting partner of NASCAR, and it is live right now in the Tar Heel State, and you can legally bet on all your favorite sports anytime, anywhere, right here in North Carolina with DraftKings. For a limited time, new customers who sign up with the promo code WPEK and bet $5 will receive $250 instantly in bonus bets. They are safe. It is secure. When you sign in, they actually send you an email that knows somebody has signed in to your account. You can't get much safer than that. This is an app that you can trust with your cash. DraftKings has all the best features, same-game parlays, player props, and more. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now using the code WPEK and bet $5 to get $250 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with the code WPEK. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook/NC. NASCAR is not a sponsor of this promotion and used under license.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Dodging wet weather this afternoon, especially toward dinner time. Best chance of scattered showers, thunderstorms, so certainly having impact after we get to about 70 degrees. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms around early. After midnight, we should see things settle down. Low of 50, and then a great-looking weekend coming up. We're down a few degrees on Saturday, upper 60s and sunny. Down a few more Sunday, sunny, mid-60s, and even more on Monday. Sunny 50. On the Weather Channel, Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Silk. Feel plenty good. Shop wherever you find groceries. Feel plenty good by incorporating Silk into your morning routine. Silk's delicious plant-based beverages help bring a daily dose of goodness. They are rich in calcium and a good source of vitamins A and D to support the health of you and your family. Shop wherever you find groceries.
Some people just know there's a better way to do things, like bundling your home and auto insurance with Allstate, or hiring someone to move your piano instead of doing it yourself. So, do things the better way. Bundle home and auto and save up to 25% with Allstate.
Bundled savings vary by state and are not available in every state. Saving up to 25% is the countrywide average of the maximum available savings off the home policy. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Robert Half research indicates 9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half is here to help. Their recruiting professionals use proprietary AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com today.
New scratch-offs are out. That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Oh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's tickets pack $370 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 2.93 to 4.24. Problem killing helpline 877-718-5543.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now. Like Alternative Rewind, where alt rock began. R.E.M., The Cure, Depeche Mode, Pretenders, Talking Heads, and more. Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search Alternative Rewind, and listen now. iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP.
The Beast Unleashed.
With 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With White Haze, Mean Green, Peach Perfect, and Scary Berries, there's a flavor for every fan.
The Beast
Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed. Available at your local retailer.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
And we are back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Time to get just a bit outside. And we've had a look. Sometimes you're just getting sick and tired of this lawless society that we live in. All of the laws being broken, people thinking that they can take things that do not belong to them, and now it has reached into our fair little world of sports memorabilia. Fans who expected to get Jaromir Jagr bobbleheads at the Pittsburgh Penguins game on Thursday night against the San Jose Sharks, well, they found out they were out of luck when the team shipment of bobbleheads got hit by thieves. Learned about it shortly after their arrival in California. And state and federal authorities have been notified, currently working to locate the missing cargo. Bobbleheads. What on earth could possess you to think that you could get anything out of bobbleheads?
I just don't know what. I got 40,000 Jaromir Jagrs. Will you give me $11?
There would have been what? The number on these things is usually like first 5,000 fans. gets a free bobblehead. What are you going to do with them? Don't you think we're going to notice when you're the only seller of the Jaromir Jagr bobblehead? I'm pretty sure there's not a giant black market for Jaromir Jagr bobbleheads.
I didn't steal them, but I do have 4,997 of them.
Buy it now for $5 on eBay.
I bought them legally from a guy in a trench coat on the side of the street.
I feel like that's hard to explain.
Oh, we don't do politics on this show, but sometimes people do things and it can't be left to its own devices. And weirdly enough, often it's CNN, which is where bum reporters go to die. And Pamela Brown is one of those. If you haven't seen this story, that she had a private conversation with Aaron Rodgers after the Kentucky Derby in 2013, at which time he said that the Sandy Hook disaster did not actually happen, that those kids were actors, and that it was a government conspiracy and an inside job. Then this story was posted on CNN and has been left to sit there for several days. In spite of the fact that there's actually video that contradicts this, not long after it happened, where he talked about this. So let me see if I get this straight. The author of this story, who I and the vast majority of other sports individuals have never even heard of, had a conversation at a Kentucky Derby after party with Aaron Rodgers, where he says something that would be this spicy. It would be this much of a story. Then you sat on that for 11 years. You report it the week it comes out that he could be a vice presidential candidate for RFK Jr. And you expect me to believe this? Really? I mean, am I the only one that's raising my hand going, there's something about this that doesn't make a whole lot of sense? And this is the vile, god-awful thing that journalists do, where I can't prove you wrong. And there will be people that don't like Aaron Rodgers that think this is true forever, in spite of the fact there is absolutely no reason to believe this is true.
Well, people believe what they want to believe.
This is what lazy bum journalists do.
Yeah, if you don't like Aaron Rodgers, it tracks. It tracks with all of the other things that you think about him, all of the things, if you hate him because of his, horse tranquilizer views during COVID, or his ayahuasca retreats, or his girlfriend's, his relationship with his girlfriend that, he was hanging out with Miles Teller, jumping off waterfalls in Hawaii, whatever your reason, it tracks. I'd believe it. I'd believe that he'd say something this stupid, because I've heard him say things that I believe are stupid before. Now,
has he said anything of this level?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so. I don't keep up with all of his opinions and things.
I obviously do, because he's the quarterback for my football.
But it's an easily believable thing, and when you have total crap reporters with no ethics, they can throw these things out there and feel like there's no reprisals.
It's just mind-boggling to me that somebody would report something like this on a private conversation that you had with absolutely no supporting, no backing on it whatsoever, other than it was a private conversation that apparently nobody else heard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's called dangerous reporting. And, hey, CNN, I would say be better, but I know you won't.
No, you can't. You absolutely can't.
That's like telling a bullfrog not to bump its keister on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
You might if you had the ability, but you don't, so you won't. Which is why you rate so poorly.
We're still getting. I'm seeing in the chat, people are still throwing in the Justin Jefferson's getting traded. Have you seen any rumors?
I've heard a lot of rumors that I can give no credence to, and I can't tell you it's not going to happen. It doesn't make any sense.
I'm not seeing anybody reporting it, is what I'm saying.
Here's what I can tell you definitively off this Texans-Vikings trade. Since it came down, there have been 3 movements in lines. One of them is that Caleb Williams is now even more secure going number 1. Jaden Daniels moved yesterday. That's looking very safe as he's going to. 3 has become much more cloudy, but it's still all quarterbacks. Marvin Harrison Jr. is up there, but I don't think there's really any risk to it. And I saw somebody in the comments, and I believe it was Joshua Penix, that said for MHJ to go number 3 to New England, they would have to bypass what is probably going to be a Godfather offer from the Minnesota Vikings, which doesn't make any sense. Elliott Wolf is a smart dude. It's just not going to happen. Quarterback's going to go at 3, and then MHJ will fall right into the laps of the Arizona Cardinals, because that is the third thing that has happened. His odds to go 4 have soared to minus 260. I feel pretty sure of who the top 4 picks are going to be. I have a really good feeling of who goes at 1 and who goes at 4 and where they go.
Mm-hmm.
It's those 2 picks in between that
Right.
I feel pretty good that Jaden Daniels goes 2 to Washington. I've heard Drake May to Minnesota for over a year. And this trade today just kind of gives me more credence of their angling to do this. If New England's not in love with Drake May, Minnesota will find a way to get up there and do this. Because New England's not a quarterback away. And ask yourself this question, and just in theory. New England chased Calvin Ridley. The money got dumb, and he wound up with the Titans. What other receiver have they chased? Oh, you actually subtracted Devontae Parker.
Mm-hmm.
You added the tight ends in, which is really commonplace for the New England Patriots. But you're telling me you're going to take a quarterback at 3 with absolutely no weapons? That math doesn't math to me. Because they haven't been in on T. Higgins. They haven't been in on any of these other receivers that have signed in other places. That math doesn't math. I think New England New England and the Chargers are the 2 spots that I'm looking at going, I can make this make a lot of sense. I can make this make a lot of sense. Because if you're New England, you could drop back to 11. If you're not bought into any of the quarterbacks, you don't have to take one. You start Jacoby Brissett for a year if you have to. I mean, the difference in wins between Drake May and Jacoby Brissett in year 1 is going to be what?
Maybe.
You probably go 3-14 with Brissett. You probably go 4-13 with Drake May. Because, yeah, he'll win you a couple games that Jacoby wouldn't. He'll lose you a game that Jacoby wouldn't either because he's a rookie.
Right. A rookie who's been prone to make mistakes in college. So you got to imagine the mistakes are coming at the NFL level. There's a couple other big moves that happened. Marquise Brown, he's now going to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Brown! Yeah, that dude has got to be looking around going,
What?
Well, I've had Kyler Murray, I've had Lamar Jackson. Both those are good quarterbacks. But I could be the best deep threat that Pat Mahomes has ever had outside of Tyreek Hill.
Yes.
I love that move personally.
I do too.
Hold on, I have to clear something up because Bill Buttigieg said something in YouTube comments that I got to make sure that this is not how it came out. He said he's disagreeing with me. They were hammering for Ridley. They were hammering for Ridley. They haven't hammered for anybody else. It's not like they're out there chasing T. Higgins right now, at least out that I've heard. I can't tell he's not having it behind closed doors. And then at the end, he said, we need a quarterback. You definitely need a quarterback. If you're not sold on any 2 except Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels, trade out. If they don't buy into Drake May, which that rumor has been circling around, that they don't like him as much as we think they do, trade out. You're not competitive this year anyway. Kick the can down the road another year. Take a quarterback at the top of next year's draft where you can get the one you want because you're not going to have much competition next year. That's all I was trying to say. You definitely need a quarterback. I hope it didn't come out that way. That I think Jacoby Brissett's the guy moving forward. I could easily see a path where you kick the can for a year, carry that rookie deal for an extra year, and then you're competitive on the backside of that quicker than you would be if you took one this year. Mm-hmm. That was my only point.
Or they end up with the second-round pick and take one there.
And take Penix.
Yeah, whichever one falls, whether it be Nix or Penix or whoever. Hollywood Brown going from the Arizona Cardinals to the Kansas City Chiefs. It's obviously a massive upgrade for him. It's also a massive upgrade for Patrick Mahomes. Because I'm not sure where I have Hollywood ranked among the wide receivers in this league, but
25.
I was going to say, is he one of the 32 best wide receivers in this league?
Yes.
To me, there's no doubt. So
he's right there in that. He's a low-end 1, a high-end 2.
Yes.
But with Pat Mahomes, I don't necessarily need Tyreek Hill. I need weapons that can catch. And here's the thing that I've yet to hear anybody say. You do realize that the 2 best weapons on this team right now are Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce. What does having a deep threat like this do? Takes top off defense, which means I can kill you with Rashee Rice and I can kill you with Travis Kelce. To me, I don't know that there was a better weapon that they could have procured. It also does another thing. It means I don't have to pick a receiver at 32. Ooh.
Yep.
What is really commonplace with that last pick in the first round? A team that's really stocked can hijack a team that needs a quarterback if one's still on the board. So let's say Bo Nix is on the board at 32, and New England, just the team we were talking about, hasn't taken a quarterback. They're picking at 34. I can add extra draft capital because you get a 5th-year option with my pick. You don't with yours. So I can move back 2 spots and get high-level capital because you get an extra year of team control. Now I don't have to take a receiver. I'm not worried about Carolina. Carolina takes a receiver, great, I'll take the next one. There are 1,000 of them in this class. It was really a brilliant move to me by a franchise that tends to do things like this. I'm not sure there was a free agent receiver I would rather have had in Kansas City more than Hollywood Brown. Mike Evans would have been the only one, and he never actually made it to the market. But if you tell me I got to have Hollywood Brown or Odell Beckham Jr., first one, not close. Don't let him get on a plane. Just understand we're good.
From the standpoint of Arizona, like, is this a guy you should have held on to?
Hollywood?
Yeah.
I know you're going to add Marvin Harrison Jr. I like Michael Wilson as a 2. You don't have much else. I mean, it's Trey McBride.
Oh yeah, and you traded.
Was I paying him $11 million? No.
Yeah, and you traded away Rondale Moore too.
No, we're probably going to cut him anyway. From what I understand, I had not heard that, but that seems to be the air around that Desmond Ridder Rondale Moore deal. By the way, have you heard the story on the Desmond Ridder trade?
No.
That the Jets and the Cardinals were discussing Zach Wilson, but the Cardinals wanted the Jets to give them a 6th-round pick to take his salary back, and the Jets said no. They went, that's fine. We'll go get Desmond Ridder. They both suck. So
6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
One of them's awful and cheap. The other one is awful and expensive. So I'm good. Yeah, I'll pass.
Yeah. You are in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We will continue to break down all of the moves of the offseason so far. This is day 5. It's day 5 of the football free agency frenzy, and it's happening on a Friday, and we're just happy to be here. I couldn't think of any more F's to throw in there while we're going to the break.
Not everything has to be alliteration.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
Worry less about spring cleaning and call Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Mention ESPN Asheville, and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned for $129 plus a free hallway. Book online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
63 Americans a day die by gun suicide. By storing our guns safely, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo, we can give our loved ones a second chance at life. Learn more at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
Thursday, April 11th, the Orange Peel presents the Disco Biscuits. Get your tickets now online at theorangepeel.net. Don't miss the Disco Biscuits live April 11th. See you at the Peel.
If you're in crisis, call 988 to get immediate assistance.
Recovery is within your reach. You can do it. You
just have to do it.
For resources to help you in your recovery, call 211 or go to buncombecounty.org/safer. Hope and healing, closer than you think.
Welcome to the Ingalls Table, a delicious destination with recipes galore. Need to whip up a dessert, entree, side dish? No problem. The experts from the Ingalls Table take you through it step by step with expert tips and advice along the way. Find the Ingalls Table at ingles-markets.com or swing by the store and pick up your free copy of the Ingalls Table magazine. And let's get cooking. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
So you want to play a parlay? No word in all of sports wagering is asked more of me, so I'll explain it to you with a couple caveats. I'm Jeremy Greene of thesportsocracy.com, and this is Green on Green, brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Let's start from the beginning. A parlay is any wager in which you have multiple wagers on the same ticket. For example, if you think that North Carolina, Tennessee, and Purdue are all going to win and cover the spread, you can put that on a parlay to make more money. But how much more money? Here's the rule of thumb. If you take standard wagers against the spread, 2-leg parlays will pay just under 3 to 1. 3-leg parlays will pay roughly 6 to 1. 4-leg parlays will pay 10 to 1. So on a 4-leg parlay, you can 10x your money. Another rule of thumb to remember, and this one's from me: Poodle has 6 letters, parlay has 6 letters, and if either one of them have more than 4 legs, more than likely one of them's going to get in the way. That is parlay wagering. For a limited time, new customers who sign up with my promo code JGBets and bet $5 will receive $250 instantly in bonus bets. Whether you prefer playing player props, same game parlays, or you just want to play that gut feeling in the money line, you can do it all with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now using code JGBets and bet $5 to get $250 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code JGBets. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only, new customers only, subject to regulatory licensing requirements. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit, wagering, and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook/NC.
The Sportsocracy.
You are a regular nuclear meltdown. You better cool off.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Dodging wet weather this afternoon, especially toward dinner time. Best chance of scattered showers, thunderstorms, so certainly having impact after we get to about 70 degrees. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms around early after midnight. We should see things settle down. Low of 50, and then a great-looking weekend coming up. We're down a few degrees on Saturday, upper 60s and sunny. Down a few more Sunday, sunny mid-60s, and even more on Monday. Sunny 50 from the Weather Channel. Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Silk. Feel plenty good. Shop wherever you find groceries. Feel plenty good by incorporating Silk into your morning routine. Silk's delicious plant-based beverages help bring a daily dose of goodness. They are rich in calcium and a good source of vitamins A and D to support the health of you and your family. Shop wherever you find groceries.
Worry less about spring cleaning and call Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Mention ESPN Asheville and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned for $129 plus a free hallway. Book online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
Compassionate care is what you want when a loved one requires short-term rehabilitation or long-term care. That's what sets Sandstone Health and Rehabilitation's 18 North Carolina locations apart from the rest. At Sandstone, residents experience a safe community and family environment where employees are treated with respect, delivering the same care they would for their loved ones. We welcome you to tour the closest location to you that delivers compassionate care for all. Discover the Sandstone difference today at sanstonehealth.com.
Crooked teeth may embarrass kids whose families can't afford braces, and trying to fix their teeth themselves can make things worse. Luckily, there's Donated Orthodontic Services, a program from the American Association of Orthodontists. For children and teens who qualify and are matched with a volunteer orthodontist, treatment can be life-changing and help them smile with confidence. Learn more at aaoinfo.org.
It's the moment you dream of, the moment you work for. All culminate into this time, your moment. Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400, and we're heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. Seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the chat. That way you can join us in the chat. All your free agency questions answered right here for the next 2 hours of the program. I mean, as we do each and every day, because... and that's why we call ourselves the Sportsocracy. We want to talk about the things you want to talk about. I mean, we know you want to talk about football.
Which is why we do talk about football. Almost every single day of the entire year.
Yes, but we want to talk about your teams, your questions, your biggest bugaboos with what's going on with your team. This free agency period has been insane, and we have seen teams get new quarterbacks.
We got one specific quarterback that's
one that especially we very much believe in. Sam Howell, former North Carolina Tar Heel, and he has now been traded from the Washington Commanders to the Seattle Seahawks for a pick swap, 2 pick swaps actually. So they sent, what was it, 4th and 6th for a 3rd and a 5th, plus Sam Howell. So they traded up around in 2 rounds, right, up from the 4th to the 3rd, up from the 6th to the 5th.
The value was basically a late 3rd rounder, early 4th rounder for Sam Howell.
There
with the
go.
2 pick swaps.
There you go. And Sam Howell now becomes the quarterback in waiting behind Geno Smith.
Is he in waiting, though?
I saw that earlier today, and I went, are you sure? Are you positive that he's the quarterback in waiting? Because, I mean, I feel like Geno Smith needs to be the quarterback in waiting here. The quarterback who's just waiting for the moment the coach looks at him and goes, it ain't you anymore. Right? Go take a seat. We're handing this to the kid.
Well, I think what John Schneider said, he was talking to 710 Seattle Sports. I'm going to read his comment verbatim. We loved him coming out of college. We're happy to get him in the mix. I'm sure there's competition. As of right now, that's kind of it's kind of telling.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like we're signing him to go and compete with Geno to be the starter, but I'm sure he's going to be giving it a run he's a competitive guy.
Which means the door is open.
Yes.
Samuel's foot is in it, and Gino's keister is on the other side of it.
Well, it's just really telling to me that you would make a move like this with a quarterback that will be 34 years old next year, which Geno Smith will be. And you just look at what he has been over the course of his career. If I'm not signing up for Geno Smith throwing for 3,600 yards like he did last year, I'm not signing up for a Geno Smith that loses me football games like he did last year. In terms of QBR, he was dead middle of the league. Sam Howell was, if you watch the film, he was better for a good amount of last year than Geno Smith was, with significantly less. He didn't have receivers like DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett and Jackson Smith and Jigba. He didn't have a running game like Kenny Walker and Zach Charbonnet. He didn't have an offensive line with Charles Cross and Abram Lucas and probably Jackson Powers-Johnson, who will be the starting center this year. If you put Sam Howell behind that line, I'm telling you right now he's better than Geno Smith, and I don't even think it's debatable.
I don't disagree with anything you said. Sam has all the talent, and we saw what he was capable of in his junior year at Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Then when the talent went away, or was that sophomore year?
That was his sophomore year.
Yeah, he came out as a junior.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't stay till senior year. So sophomore year, when he had the weapons, when he had the offensive line, we saw what he was capable of. Then his offensive line went away. His receivers went pro for his junior year. And he started making a whole bunch of mistakes, started pressing way too much in games, and still ended up, I believe, as it was either top 4 or top 6 quarterback in college football, despite all of the problems that he had. And then he goes to Washington, and when he gets a chance to start, he was on pace for throwing for 5,000 yards at one point. I mean, he was just throwing up massive numbers. And all of the things were stacked against him.
Well, and this is, we have a super chat on this very topic. It's from our buddy Rob Johnson. It's his milestone chat. He's been with us for 28 months.
Yeah!
And he asked a simple question. Who won the Sam Howell trade? For me, it's the Seattle Seahawks, and it's not really all that close.
Agreed.
I don't think Washington was a loser in this because you did still get into the third, beginning of the fourth value for a guy that, as time has gone on, it's become very obvious. He's not going to be your guy. New head coaches, new offensive coordinators, new GMs. All three of those things can lead to new quarterbacks. When you have all three of them with the same team, there's almost no chance that a guy's going to carry that way.
Mm-hmm.
You invested a fifth-round pick in him. You got a late third out of him. You still won. You still did fine. And having a vet to back him up is whoever the rookie is. I think it'll be Jaden Daniels. You're in better shape because Sam Howell wants to start, and I don't necessarily know that having him in that room with Jaden Daniels had a lot of value. But I look at this from the Seattle side, and here's why this is a win to me. And I'm going to take CBS basically did a grade the trade, and the very last line in their grade was, there's a case to be made that they should still be eyeing a potential day one investment at the quarterback position in the 2024 NFL draft. All right, let me ask you a question. Would you rather have Sam Howell or J.J. McCarthy?
Sam Howell.
Not close. Would you rather have Michael Penix or Sam Howell?
Sam Howell.
Not close. Would you rather have Bo Nix or Sam Howell?
Sam Howell.
Not close. You just made an investment like that. You don't view him that way, whoever wrote this story, and I cared so little that I didn't even check the name. I didn't even check the byline because I don't care. That's exactly what this is. This is holding Geno Smith's feet to the fire.
Yes.
Because now you're looking around an NFC where the Dallas Cowboys are not as good as they were coming into this offseason factor fiction.
Fact.
Losing Dan Quinn, losing Tony Pollard, losing Stephon Gilmore. That team is not as good as they were. I don't know what to do with Philadelphia because you have all the talent in the world, but you still have Nick Sirianni.
Mm-hmm.
The Vikings now, I believe, will fall off the world. I'm in like with Green Bay. I'm in like with Chicago, but you still have quarterbacks that are question marks to me. Detroit is one of the few I know what I'm going to get there, and I feel like Detroit right now, this will be spicy to some people.
Number one.
They're the best team in the NFC to me. Adding DJ Reader, the other smaller things that they've done, adding Carlton Davis in a trade with your Bucks. Yep, that's the best. All you had to do was be able to serviceably stop teams. You could not do that last year, and you were still probably the second best team in the NFC. I think you can do it now. If for nothing else, I can make you one-dimensional with DJ Reader because you're not going to be able to run on me. Do I believe in any team in the AFC North or in the NFC South?
No.
Wow, I went completely opposite there. I said AFC North and meant NFC South.
Yeah. No, you should not believe in any team in the NFC
I mean, do I
South.
think Seattle is, or do I think Atlanta is definitively better than Seattle? As I don't.
No.
Now Aaron Donald's gone from the Rams, which means that defense, I don't see a path that it's not going to regress. I like what you're doing, and I see where you're headed, but I did not expect Aaron Donald to walk away at 32 years old. And I think San Francisco is significantly worse than they were coming into the offseason. Spent some really ridiculous money on Yetur Gross-Matos. You had Chase Young, Javon Kinlaw, Eric Armstead. Do I like any piece that you've added better than what you lost? The answer is no. We were talking the other day about teams that could be dark horses to win a Super Bowl. I'm not going there with Seattle. I've seen me spend much dumber money on things than NFC champion Seattle Seahawks. I bought them last year. Geno Smith typhooned you. And if you watch them play football, you know what I'm saying is true. The one thing you could absolutely not do was count on Geno Smith. Because he would turn it over or, and this was way more common, take that unbelievably god-awful sack at the time that he couldn't do it. And I think there's a great chance that Sam Howell comes in here and beats him out.
I don't have any doubts in my mind that that can happen. Will it happen? Who knows? Probably not. If I had to wager on it, I would say no.
So week one, you would say Geno Smith's a starter?
Yes.
How long does it take before Sam Howell supplants him?
It always depends on how the season goes. There's a very good possibility that I'd say week 6, it starts to get real loud. If you end up with a crap schedule to start the year,
which is possible,
and you end up with 2-4 record, you're 1-4 in the first 5. I could very well see that happening.
Well, I'm just looking at how Geno Smith started last year. So anybody that's listened to this show for any period of time, you know that we use QBR as that's one of the only metrics that, I'm not saying it's infallible, but it's one of the best metrics we have. Last 4 games of the year last year, Geno Smith had 4 games in a row of over a 74 QBR. That was against Arizona, Pittsburgh, Tennessee, and Dallas. Those 2 really good defenses, and one that wasn't terrible and one that just didn't have any players. Do you know how he started the year? Up until those 4 games where he had 4 over 74 QBR, how many games like that did he have the rest of the season combined?
2.
1. It was the second week of the year, and it was in overtime at Detroit. That's the only one.
Mm-hmm.
He had a lot more: 44.8, 37.3, 39.4, 12.1, 13.9. He was awful for the vast majority of last year. The only reason that he's still on this roster is because he had a run at the end of the season where people went, well, that wasn't bad.
That and there's dead money on that deal still.
Well, the dead money doesn't matter. The dead money would have been
$30 million, I think.
Yeah, and by I guess maybe I'm getting skewed by the fact that Denver gave Russell Wilson $85 million to go away.
Yeah.
I guess $30 million, I look at that and go, I don't know that would get me to have Geno Smith back on this roster.
Yeah.
But I get how you got here.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at a new coach in Mike McDonald. He has no allegiance to Geno Smith.
No.
If he comes in here and is an absolute bum, guess what? He's going to be sitting his keister on the sideline. And I don't think it's going to take that long. If he starts the way he did last year, I'm not sure he makes it through the first month. Because Seattle can be very, very good.
but they have got to be significantly better at quarterback. And with weapons like that and an offensive line like that, there's no reason that you shouldn't be.
Exactly. And you need Geno Smith to be better than he was last year, but you cannot count on him being any better moving forward. We talked about this several weeks ago of what are the Seattle Seahawks going to do? And this is the move that I wanted them to make. It was either this move or the Justin Fields move. One of these two guys, you need to bring somebody in to back up Geno Smith because you cannot trust him. He had a rejuvenated year. Awesome. Rejuvenated his career with Dave Canales. At some point, I have to look at the comparison here, or the commonality, right? The lowest common denominator between what made Geno Smith look good and what made Baker Mayfield look good in the last 2 seasons. Both comeback player of the year. One of them won it. The other one was a candidate. And then what happened the next year? I'm expecting the same thing to happen in Tampa to Baker this year that happened to Geno last year in Seattle. That's why I believe in so much what's happening in Carolina with Dave Canales being there. You got one look at Geno Smith last year. Maybe not one look. First 4 looks of the year and went, this ain't it.
Nope.
This ain't it. We're tied up with this, but we have to start the plan for what's next. And this was the best move that you could make. It's the best value that you made. You get to hold on to some capital. Sure, you gave up a little bit, but letting another team trade up around twice, to me, is not that big of a deal. To me, it's a great value.
Nothing.
It's not nothing.
It is good value, but it's not nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other part of this. And something I've yet to hear anybody say. So everybody talked about how sack-prone Sam Howell was.
It was 63 of them last year?
He had 63. How many pass attempts did he have?
400 and something, wasn't it?
612.
Holy smokes.
And he didn't even start every game. Geno Smith had 31 behind a markedly better offensive line with markedly better weapons. He was sacked 31 times in 499 attempts. That's not that discrepant. You get that, right? Especially when you factor in one of you's been in the league for 12 years. The other has been in the league for 12 minutes. Oh, by the way, who did Seattle hire as their offensive coordinator? Ryan Grubb. You remember what that Washington offense was predicated on? You never do what? Never take sacks. Michael Penix was never hit. That's when it worked. That's how it works. Because you can't take deep shots when you keep getting behind the chains. I have to run just enough, and now I think he's going to run markedly more in the NFL, especially with Kenny Walker and Zach Charbonnet.
No doubt.
But you add a running game and all those things that Sam Howell never had. I've already seen Geno Smith with this. I've already seen Geno Smith run with this kind of talent. And the high side is what I think the low side is on Sam Howell. This ain't hard to figure out. Seattle would not commit this kind of investment if they really believed in Geno Smith. What this tells me is that he is a lame duck quarterback regardless. There's a great chance that lame duck gets knocked off his perch before the season even starts. And if he doesn't, it won't take long.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurrent automated marketing messages from Babbel. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at Babbel.com/TNC.
My new exercise bike. Yeah, more like my $1,500 coat rack.
At Babbel, we get it. Learning something new is hard, especially a new language.
My Spanish starts and ends at Adios.
Make it easy on yourself with Babbel. In just 10 minutes a day, you can start having real conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
Hola, Espanol.
It starts here. To try Babbel free, text radio to 64,000. Text radio to 64,000.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff, so that it rises to the top. helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-803-5505 to speak to an expert. That's 800-803-5505.
Way to go, Swifties! You listened, you voted, and they won! New Heights! Congrats to the Kelsey brothers on their New Heights podcast winning Podcast of the Year at our 2024 iHeart Podcast Awards.
We did it! We won Podcast of the Year? According to iHeart Podcast Awards, we did. You guys make this show what it is. We truly appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Thank you. Thanks again.
Listen to New Heights on America's #1 podcast network, iHeartRadio. Open your free iHeart app and search New Heights to listen now.
We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine, and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
It's the moment you dream of, the moment you work.
Buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
We are back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. It is a free agent football Friday here in the Sportsocracy. Next Friday, we will be doing the show live from 51 North Merriman Avenue, the Village Porch, our favorite little neighborhood hangout. Our favorite sports bar in town.
I was there last night. And the night before that.
Well, you live next door, so
I do.
But
I don't
the Village
even have
Porch,
to take the car out of the garage.
some of the best bar food in town that you will find. The burgers are incredible. The wings are great. We absolutely love it there.
Oh, I just discovered a new thing that I'd never had before. Nachos.
Ooh, I never had their nachos.
They didn't have nachos until recently.
Okay.
And they're ridiculous.
Well, I've got a date with some ridiculous Village Porch nachos next Friday. We will be there doing the show live 12 to 3 here on ESPN Asheville. Plus, we'll be streaming online for the show and much beyond that, I'm sure.
We're streaming the whole day.
Oh, it's just going to be a steady stream all day.
Yep.
So,
this will be just like the draft, where we're going to be watching games in our little perch. If you don't live here in Asheville, you can watch online with us. If you do live in Asheville, you can come hang out with us. We'll throw you on camera. You can, don't say horrible things about the government. Frankly, they already watch me enough as it is. There's been a black car following me around for like a month. I know I'm on a watch list. So.
This will be for day 2 of the first round of the NCAA tournament as it all gets underway next week. Selection Sunday coming up this weekend. We've got ACC basketball tonight on ESPN Asheville and on WWNC because, well, the Wolfpack made it, beating Duke yesterday. We can all celebrate that.
Can we?
Yeah, of course we can.
See, I mean,
every day Duke loses is a great day. I had to pick this morning my favorite website to go to. It's usually, iskevinkeatsawinner.com. But today, I got to go to diddukewin.com and get the same answer.
All right, can I just say something? Look, I'm a West Virginia feller, and I'm a lifelong Florida State fan. I must say something that the North Carolina brethren here are probably not going to like.
whether it's North Carolina, Duke, NC State, or Wake Forest.
Mm-hmm.
You're all just annoying in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest with you, there's a power ranking of which one of you is more annoying.
Mm-hmm.
And Duke is 1, 2, and 4.
Mm-hmm.
NC State's 3.
Mm-hmm.
Carolina's 5. Not all of you, but there's like what you just said. DidDukeWin.com. That joke was played out 14 years ago.
Still plays.
I think that still runs in Flash.
I think it does.
They made that website in 1997 and have not updated it since, and yet it still gets love.
No, it's the most visited Angel Fire website.
Oh, yeah,
still exists.
The guy that created that has an AOL.com email address. I promise you. And Wake Forest is on that list only because there's that one really annoying guy. I don't know his name.
I was going to say, is there one?
There is one.
Okay.
I don't know his name, but I have come across him twice. Like, I've never had a problem with a Wake Forest fan before. I don't like you at all.
Never had a problem with a Wake Forest fan. They're just, I guess they just get ignored. It doesn't really.
Well, like
are you upset? Well, why don't you go be relevant 30 years from now?
It's like all of your hatred for each other makes you blind to your own deficiencies.
Of course it does.
And so we just sit back and go, you don't see it, do you? Like,
no, we do. We just don't care because they're more insufferable than we are.
There was another morning show. Doesn't necessarily air on these airwaves, so we're not going to tell you who it was. They had a conversation about when Duke is their most annoying, and it's when they have the little white guard and the big white annoying big guy.
Yes.
And I'm not going to lie to you, I started thinking about that, and I went, there might be a merit to that, because I absolutely despised Christian Laettner and despised J.J. Redick. That's probably the 2 high water marks of Wojciechowski.
Terrible.
Oh.
Hated him.
Keep slapping the floor. Like, good Lord.
John Shire, he's way higher on that list than I saw many people want to put him.
He doesn't irritate me that bad. I almost feel sorry for him.
He was terrible as a player. Just absolutely terrible.
He
Could not make a shot where he didn't let everybody know.
Well, I mean that's what shooters do.
Mm-hmm.
But we have 2 non-Duke Carolina related super chats now that I've angered you all, and that's fine. I still love you all. Yeah. See, Florida, Miami, Florida State. We would be really annoying, but some of us do crimes. That might be my team. And Florida, they would get angry, and this is kind of like that King of the Hill thing. If they could read, they would be so upset right now.
I was gonna say y'all.
You knew I was taking the shot.
I was gonna say y'all also get more annoying when you actually win stuff.
Yes.
You ain't done that in a long time, so
we have a national title in recently enough that. We have a football national title.
Yeah.
Oh, we sure don't. We surely don't have one basketball. We don't care about that.
You tried to.
Y'all did.
You tried to.
Yeah, and then the NCAA stole it from us. I'm still mad about that. Unless you want me to rant, you leave that alone. You ruined Leonard Hamilton's life.
That's a basketball and a football title they took away from you.
I hate you so much. You should be glad it's Friday because I want to throw you through that window right now. Gage Camplin with the first one. He asked, are the Bears actually going to be good?
Yes.
I agree.
I believe the Bears are actually going to be good, but they're going to be Minnesota good. Right? And
I think they're better than
the Minnesota of the last few years that has been right there. They're, they can make the playoffs as a wild card, but I don't think they're a threat to that division. I don't think they're a threat to the Detroit Lions.
I think they're the biggest threat to the Detroit Lions.
I would agree with you there, but I still don't think they're a threat. I think
I
think Detroit wins this division probably by, I'll say comfortably. It's going to be 2-3 weeks left in the season, and there's nothing to play for because Detroit's got it all sewed up.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Looking at and this is assuming Caleb Williams, and this is assuming Roma Dunze. That's where I'm at.
Okay.
Because I am currently assuming both those things.
Yes.
Name me the position where the Lions are better than the Bears. Are they better at quarterback?
No.
Is the receiving core better? Oh, good Lord, no. The line's better.
Mm-hmm.
Not by as much as you want it to be.
No. Running back. DeAndre Swift versus
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
And
Lardis, David Montgomery.
They're better at tight end. Sam Laporta over Cole Kmet, and it's not close.
It's closer than you want it to be. Sam Laporta's in the top 5. Cole Kmet's in that next handful. It ain't many. It ain't many. And defensively, that's not even close. They're better than you at every single position. So I'm just telling you, the Bears are going to be good. And this may age poorly. I think we're going to look back for years to come on that's how you build a team. Because the Bears could have taken Bryce Young last year. And frankly, I said they should. Looking back on that, okay, that's why they pay you.
This worked out well.
They pay me to talk. They pay you to do. You keep doing. Because my roster would not look as good as yours currently does, I don't believe. We have another super chat. Yeah! It's from Notorious B.I.G. Devondre Campbell to the 49ers. Cam Curl to the Rams. I'm going to do these in reverse. I like the Cam Curl signing a lot. And I think it was Evan Doyle mentioned our buddy Jake Ellenbogen. I'm not sure that he has recovered from Aaron Donald yet, but I can tell you he was so excited about Cam Curl that he might just be ignoring Aaron Donald on social media whilst crying, typing out about Cam Curl. I don't know. I'll have to ask him.
Is he that excited about Cam Curl?
Yes, and that's a really good signing. I like Cam Curl a lot, and he fits that defense quite nicely. The bigger one of that is, to me, is Devondre Campbell, because I'm looking at Cam Curl now going, I liked you a lot with Aaron Donald. I like you to be completely irrelevant without him, because you're fine. You're going to be in a lot of shootouts, because I'm not seeing who's going to get after quarterbacks. Because everybody jumps up a peg, and it makes me like every single player on that defense less. The Devondre Campbell thing to the 49ers, we haven't talked as much about San Francisco as we probably should have.
Okay.
Do you realize how much that roster has atrophied in one offseason?
Yes.
It's staggering to look at.
You've taken some names off the board here, and what you've replaced them with is Leonard Floyd, Yetur Gross-Matos, Jordan Elliott,
which was a gross overpay, Malik Collins.
Oh yeah, that was the trade for him.
It's just a bunch of dudes.
I think Malik Collins is more than just a dude, but barely.
I mean, the Houston Texans
he's fine
on
the inside.
A 7th-round pick.
I mean, you obviously lost something with Armstead.
No
right,
doubt.
that's a massive downgrade. You
by
still
the way,
have
good
Javon
pickup
Hargrave
by the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Mm-hmm.
Trent Baalke. Just stick to players you drafted in San Francisco. Maybe stop trying to, because everything else has been.
You still have Javon Hargrave on that offensive line, or the defensive line, excuse me. You still have a lot of pieces, but it's not as sexy. What else have they lost? Because I love adding Devondre Campbell to Fred Warner.
Why?
I just
Devondre
feel like
Campbell's
those two
best
guys
years
are.
Devondre Campbell's best years in this league came in a 3-4. Where does he play? Because if you're about to make him an off-ball linebacker, I've already read this book. It did not go so well.
Okay.
And that's one of those things that really irks me. And it's not from the fan perspective. You're not expected to know that. There are media guys that will say things like this, and you don't seem to understand that schemes are different, and guys fit one and not the other. You're asking Devondre Campbell, who is getting older, to do something that I have never seen him do consistently, and you're replacing Dre Greenlaw, who's not going to be ready for the start of the year. That's a huge downgrade. Huge. Devondre Campbell was awful at times last year. And that was in a system he was comfortable in. Now you're going to ask him to do something I've never seen him do? Ugh. I'm just looking at the defense going, what about this scares me? It's Bosa Hargrave. End of message. And then it's just a bunch of dudes.
Except for Fred Warner.
Line.
Oh, the line.
He doesn't play line.
Excuse me.
Fred Warner, yeah, he's a given. But even then, linebacking core, huge reduction from Dre Greenlaw. And I don't even know who's going to play the Sam. I have no clue. I look at your offensive line. There's not a lot there. You've done nothing
to fix that. Mm-hmm. And I'm just looking at a team that's regressing with a quarterback that you believe way too much in. I'm not sure. I don't look at San Francisco as the biggest loser of the offseason.
Well, they definitely haven't made any spicy moves, anything that makes you go, yeah, that's a massive upgrade.
Well, I mean, you predicated yourself on being able to run the ball and play really good defense.
Mm-hmm.
You're significantly worse opposite Bosa, from Chase Young to whichever one of these guys you want to say.
Mm-hmm.
I still believe in Drake Jackson, but obviously you don't, or you wouldn't have spent the vast majority of your resources trying to replace him. I don't really believe in Malik Collins. He's fine, and I think you're slotting him into a nice spot in between Hargrave and Bosa. He's fine. Is he Eric Armstead? Oh, good God, no.
No.
And so now you've taken Armstead away from Hargrave. Hargrave is going to have to step into that role, and I don't like that as much. So now you're a defensive run-first team. What does all of this do? So the net of everything I'm saying here, what does all this do? It puts more on the plate of who? Brock Purdy.
Okay.
If you're not as good defensively, it puts more on the quarterback. This is the exact same argument I was just making with Sam Howell. Because what I didn't say is the Washington defense was awful. You're in shootouts every single week because you can't stop anybody. I'm not saying that San Francisco is going to regress to that point. I just don't think you're this big, bad cat on the block anymore. And you're going into a new defensive system because the Steve Wilkes thing did not work. It's a lot of change in San Francisco, and a lot of it's change that I'm not real fond of.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have one more super chat.
All right.
Patrick Holt made sure that, by God, I was going to say that.
Here's another one.
Yeah! He said, you'll need a doctor a few times in your life. You may need a lawyer once or twice. You need a farmer 3 times a day. Go NC State.
Kudos to you.
I mean, that is, in
and
fairness, that is
night.
a good line. I've never heard that before, but that is a good line.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you had to come up with some response when your nickname is Moo You.
Do people really call it that?
Well,
I've
they
never
used
heard
to.
that
Oh, back in the 60s and 70s? Probably even longer than that. In the state Carolina rivalry, it was referred to often as Moo You because it was the ag college.
Well, we got to take a break, but when we come back, we have breaking news.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Dodging wet weather this afternoon, especially toward dinner time. Best chance of scattered showers, thunderstorms, so certainly having impact after we get to about 70 degrees. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms around early after midnight. We should see things settle down. Low of 50, and then a great-looking weekend coming up. We're down a few degrees on Saturday, upper 60s and sunny. Down a few more Sunday, sunny mid-60s, and even more on Monday. Sunny 50 from the Weather Channel. Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com. Let Express Employment Professionals help you hire for contract or full-time jobs. Forget about posting jobs, sifting through resumes, and interviews with unqualified applicants. Go to ExpressPros.com to find the location near you. That's ExpressPros.com.
Some people just know there's a better way to do things, like bundling your home and auto insurance with Allstate, or hiring someone to move your piano instead of doing it yourself. So, do things the better way. Bundle home and auto and save up to 25% with Allstate.
Bundled savings vary by state and are not available in every state. Saving up to 25% is the countrywide average of the maximum available savings off the home policy. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Welcome to the Ingalls Table, a delicious destination with recipes galore. Need to whip up a dessert, entree, side dish? No problem. The experts from the Ingalls Table take you through it step by step with expert tips and advice along the way. Find the Ingalls Table at ingalls-markets.com or swing by the store and pick up your free copy of the Ingalls Table magazine. And let's get cooking. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you right now, like Alternative Rewind, where all rock began. Just search Alternative Rewind and listen now on your free iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio.
free never sounded so good.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP,
The Beast Unleashed.
with 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan. The Beast Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed available at your local retailer.
Welcome to the Ingalls Table, a delicious destination with recipes galore. Need to whip up a dessert, entree, side dish? No problem. The experts from the Ingalls Table take you through it step by step with expert tips and advice along the way. Find the Ingalls Table at ingalls-markets.com or swing by the store and pick up your free copy of the Ingalls Table magazine. And let's get cooking. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Breaking news time.
They didn't see the worst part of that.
No,
which was awful.
No.
This is from Ian Rappaport. Browns coach Kevin Stefanski and GM Andrew Berry have hired Mike Vrabel to serve as a consultant for the Cleveland Browns.
Oh.
He was with them at the Combine. I have a story that I'm not allowed to tell. This didn't surprise me as much as it did everybody else, because I could tell you Braves was doing stuff at the Combine.
He was going hard in the paint.
Yeah, the night that Tank decided he was going to be a will boy and go sleep early, we missed the opportunity to go real hard in the paint with Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, sometimes you swing and miss. Sometimes
guys,
you can't even bother to swing.
There were some guys that we became friends with over the course of the week that they partook, and one of the things that they told us was that he was with the Browns guys.
Mm-hmm. Mike Vrabel to the Cleveland Browns. How much does that mean to you?
I mean, it can't hurt.
No. Extra voice in the room.
It's a big voice, too.
It is a big voice. It is a big voice, and I don't know. Just makes me wonder how those personalities work together. Between him and Stefanski and all of that.
I do love that DraftKings, one of the great partners of this here program, just tweeted out that picture of The Undertaker behind AJ Styles with the caption that said, Mike Vrabel to Kevin Stefanski when the Browns don't make the playoffs.
That's kind of where I was headed with that, was this is Cleveland staking their claim of, hey, Kevin, we're going to include you in this little decision here, but just so you know, that clock's a-ticking. This sends no other message to me. The Cleveland Browns are putting Kevin Stefanski on notice, and they're disguising it as Mike Vrabel's going to be an assistant. That's just how I read it.
He's a consultant.
A consultant, excuse me.
I think it's a good get. I do. I think it's a good get. Like I said, I'm going to be 100% honest with you, because I always strive to be 100% honest with you. I thought this was already a thing, so
you thought he was already hired?
I thought he was already working with the Browns.
He may be hanging around, but now they've just officially made it official, and it's not quite a pink slip.
No. And you're reading
but
that much
coming.
more. Look, I think Kevin Stefanski did good things last year. I think Jim Schwartz did good things last year. I don't think Cleveland is. I think you're doing that thing that we do so often in sports, where the last thing that we saw you do is who you are. and they got scattered, smothered, covered, diced, and chunked by the Houston Texans. A lot of people would that day. Because the Texans came out with their hair on fire.
Look, I give the Browns all the credit in the world for doing what they did. Now they used, 5 quarterbacks last year to end up in the playoffs with a shot to make some noise. We never expected them to really do anything with Joe Flacco as the quarterback.
See, to me, this is a bigger year for Deshaun Watson than it is for Kevin Stefanski. Now, you're stuck with him because you gave him a guaranteed deal.
There's nothing you can do there. You don't win this year, you're not doing anything with Deshaun Watson. Who's getting the blame for that?
I don't know that you're right.
You think this is a Russell Wilson deal? They could swallow that guaranteed money?
No. But there could be some concessions.
A restructuring, if you will?
I don't know how that would go.
Okay.
I really don't. I can opine. We've never had anything like this before, so that's all anybody's got is I can guess how it would go, but I mean, you can't restructure a deal that's fully guaranteed. There's nowhere to move the money.
Exactly. So you've made this bed. You have to lie in it, and if Kevin Stefanski still doesn't win, there's going to be that time. They're going to pull the ripcord. We've been talking about it for 3 years. I mean, he won Coach of the Year this year, didn't he? Didn't Kevin Stefanski win Coach of the Year? We all know what a good job he did, but I still don't think that really matters all that much to the lifeline of that job.
I do. I don't think Cleveland is – with Andrew Berry, I don't think they're that impatient.
Okay.
I think very highly of Andrew Berry. He was one of the only guys when we were in Indianapolis that I actually sought out because I just wanted to say howdy. Because I think he's a really good GM. Good question in the chat, and then we have a super chat after that. Gambit fan asked, if Deshaun can't do anything this year, can we officially say he's cooked? Yes.
Yeah.
This is the make or break year to me. Do you disagree with that?
No, I do not. If he hadn't got hurt last year, I would have felt like last year was part of that.
Now the question is, what do you do? And I don't have a good answer to that.
Nothing.
We've never seen a team have to do this before.
Nothing. You struggle through.
I don't know that
until it's done.
I don't know that I agree with you. The roster's too good. Now, am I sitting here telling you you're going to take a $150 million dead cap hit? No, I'm not saying that. There has to be a solution there. I just don't know what it is.
I think it's all going to be fine, honestly.
I do too, because I don't think they're going to put as much on Deshaun Watson.
No.
And adding Jerry Jeudy, I think, was a nice piece.
Because
now you've got 3 legit receivers. You've got a really good running back coming back, and you've got a tight end that's really good. And the line's pretty solid.
I have a game plan that I know works. All Deshaun has to do, all I have to do is find that little niche that Deshaun can make it better. Kevin Stefanski has not done that.
Look, you won games last year with Joe Falco. I have no doubt that Deshaun Watson can find ways to win games.
Yes.
Now, is it going to be $55 million a year worth of ways to maybe not. Does it look beautiful? Also, maybe not. But I'm not really worried about the Browns.
No.
Then hit your button. We have a
Yeah!
It's from GG Gambling. He said, as the resident Rams fan, losing Aaron Donald is huge. But we have to trust the process. McVay is 1A behind Andy Reid. Kobe Turner had a huge year, and our free agents are huge. Go get Bosa. Bosa's staying where he is. So they've already restructured. There's no getting Bosa. But I'm not throwing dirt on the Rams because I've already done that once, and it burned me. I kind of just trust Sean McVay. I also don't think you're really a threat. Can you make the playoffs? Sure, because you've already made the playoffs with the roster that I looked at and went, how did you just do that? And you do still have one of the best quarterbacks in the NFC. But if something, knock on wood, this doesn't happen because you never want to forecast injuries. But if something happens to Matthew Stafford, may God have mercy on your soul because that team will go into the toilet fast.
Just like it did 2 years ago.
Exactly. And now you don't have Aaron Donald to cover that up.
No. You don't have Aaron Donald. You don't have you don't have Jalen Ramsey here anymore. You don't have the big names to lean on.
Is the draft more important to any team in the NFL than the LA Rams?
I would say it's hard for me to say no because I mean, there are other teams, like I look at Arizona. And you have so much draft capital. It's really important that this could be that springboard moment. As a team that already has as a team that already has a championship pedigree, and you still have a little crack of a window open for you to do something, to make some noise, to win some division championships, and maybe threaten for a Super Bowl, I would probably agree that Los Angeles, that there is no other team that is more important.
Arizona,
knock out this offseason.
You put Arizona up there just because they have so many picks.
Yes.
But they're still in year 2 of a 3-year rebuild. So I mean, even if you boo-boo kitty some of these picks, which, by the way, you're going to.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a shot at Monty Austin-Ford. That's not a shot at the Cardinals. Everyone team boo-boos draft picks from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like that's going to slam a window shut on you. The Rams are – this almost feels kind of last righty to me.
I could see that.
Cooper Kupp's going to regress at some point. Nakua's fantastic, but that's one of the only really young, really star players that you have. And you've got a quarterback that's older than I am, or as old as I am. That's scary. I need to really be I need to be hitting some home runs in this draft, not just solid singles to right field.
Yeah. Remember when we thought after the Super Bowl there was all the talk of, are they going to blow it up? Right? Is Sean McVay going to come back? Is he going to jump to TV? Is Aaron Donald going to retire? And then I think we had all kind of come to the agreement, this team is done. Their window's closed. And then they had the follow-up year, which was the worst follow-up year to any Super Bowl in history. And then last year kind of really surprised all of us. At least the ones in this room that were projecting last year. We didn't think the Rams were going to be playoff caliber, but they were. And now, do you get that whole Pittsburgh Steelery kind of vibe from Sean McVay of he's just so good that they'll never be out of it. They'll always be, as long as a quarterback is healthy, they'll always be in this 9-8 ceiling or floor area.
Well, nobody ever talks about coaches the way they talk about quarterbacks. When you've got a high-level coach like that, short of injuries, like you said, you're never just going to crater.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason we don't talk about coaches that way is because there's not that many of them. There's not that many guys that I know are going to get the most out of their team. It's Andy Reid, Sean McVay, Harbaugh, Tomlin. Do you have another one that I'm missing?
No, I don't think so.
That's my 4. But as long as you've got Sean McVay, I do have a belief that you're going to be able to get the most out of a lot of guys. But something else that does need to be talked about with the Rams, and I haven't heard anybody say it yet, losing Raheem Morris is not great. It's not.
What's the big fallout there? Hold on to it. Take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about it then. You're in the Sportsocracy. It's ESPN Asheville.
Friday, March 15th, the Orange Peel presents Scott Stapp, lead vocalist and lyricist for Creed. Get your tickets now, online at theorangepeel.net. Don't miss Scott Stapp, live March 15th. See you at the Peel.
Doug Gottlieb here. March is here. That means Chick Days, planting your garden, and college basketball. Just like in basketball, every team needs its MVP. When it comes to team members who go above and beyond, Tractor Supply has the winning lineup. Our home team at Tractor Supply is excited to support your hometown. We're proud to be part of the excitement of college basketball tournament season, and our home team looks forward to serving your hometown. because every day is game day at Tractor Supply.
This is the time of year to enjoy life. Stop letting that pain in your joints keep you from doing what you want to do this spring. Call QC Kinetics now. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. I'm talking lasting joint pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. It's a fact. QC Kinetics is literally transforming lives. Their advanced treatments harness your own body's ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Pro athletes have been doing this for decades, but now this life-changing treatment is available for you, so you can walk and run and climb stairs and play golf and move again pain-free. No pain pills, no risky surgery. This is an all-natural solution. QC Kinetics has tens of thousands of satisfied patients who have reclaimed their mobility. Take action now and live your best life this spring and summer. It's a great use of your tax refund check, by the way. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. Phone 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517 in Asheville and in Greenville.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
We're back at the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Jeremy, why is it such a big deal that Raheem Morris is not going to be here anymore for the Rams?
Well, because you had consistency.
Mm-hmm.
You'd had a defensive coordinator in place. Now you're and even if you keep the system in place, which I think you're going to, you don't have that continuity. And now you just lost your best player, which was also your best pass rusher, which also kind of steers into it could lead to a slew of problems.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, I think Sean McVay's great. He doesn't have a lot to do with it, defense.
He's got to trust in the system, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, and I do to a point, but Chris Shula has a much more prominent name than he does resume.
Mm-hmm.
So that's still a very big – there's just a lot of unknowns. And that always makes me nervous, especially when you have a roster that's so top-heavy. That was my problem with them last year, is that you have one injury and you're in trouble. Well, you basically just had an injury, a forever injury.
Yes.
Because now Aaron Donald is gone. And I don't know how you make up for that, especially not at this point.
You can't make up for it. The problem is you never were.
Do you think it's weird that he retired right now? I mean, we're in day 5 of free agency, really.
Yeah. I mean, I do. Feel like it's a little late in the process here. But there again, we're not too far removed from the end of the season. So does a decision like this take longer than, 8 weeks?
Well, my question is, did the Rams know ahead of time? Or did they find out this morning? Because that's basically how it was going to go in what we had heard previously, is that he was calling the league office to make these, and the Rams didn't really have much prior knowledge there.
Yes.
So if that's the case, then you really waited 5 days into free agency to say this. You kind of put your team behind the 8 ball. In the grander scheme of things, it's not that big a deal. But for this year,
could be.
Could be a big deal.
Could be a big deal.
You know what else is a big deal?
What's that?
Sports wagering in the state of North Carolina. It's
right.
completely legal, and there's only one place that you should do it, and it's DraftKings Sportsbook, an official partner of this here program. You're now able to bet all your favorite sports anywhere in the state of North Carolina from your phone with DraftKings. For a limited time, new customers who sign up with code WPEK and bet $5 will receive $250 instantly in bonus bets. Whether you prefer playing player props, same-game parlays, or you just want to ride that gut feeling on a spread, you can do it with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now using code WPEK and bet $5 to get $250 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code WPEK. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only, new customers only. Subject to regulatory licensing requirements. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit, wagering, and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook/NC.
And join us after the break here, top of the hour. It will be time for a mock draft.
Gonna be a mock draft.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Dodging wet weather this afternoon, especially toward dinner time. Best chance of scattered showers, thunderstorms, so certainly having impact after we get to about 70 degrees. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms around early. After midnight, we should see things settle down. Low of 50, and then a great-looking weekend coming up. We're down a few degrees on Saturday, upper 60s and sunny. Down a few more Sunday, sunny mid-60s, and even more on Monday. Sunny 50 from the Weather Channel. Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com. Let Express Employment Professionals help you hire for contract or full-time jobs. Forget about posting jobs, sifting through resumes, and interviews with unqualified applicants. Go to ExpressPros.com to find the location near you. That's ExpressPros.com.
Here's another remarkable success story from QC Kinetics. This one from Chad, who hurt his knee at the gym one day, and it just kept on hurting for months.
From my high school football and wrestling days, I already had a little bit of damage in there, but this just sent it over the edge.
Chad tried traditional treatments with no improvement when he turned to the non-surgical regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics.
It was really fascinating how they did their work, and the science behind it was very intriguing, and it works. Extracting the cure out of my own body blew my mind. It's like I'm brand new again. It was fantastic.
That's because the QC Kinetics natural biologic treatments use your body's own healing power to restore damaged tissue in your hips, shoulders, back, and knees, providing long-lasting relief.
Now I'm back at the gym. I'm 100%, feeling great.
If you're tired of suffering with pain from arthritis or injury, call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
Spring has sprung and it's full tilt boogie time at GiveMeTheVin.com, America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls Studio.
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy. We are live in the Ingalls studio. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400 locally. And, of course, you can take us with you everywhere you go. With the iHeartRadio app, you can listen to us live or on demand. With the iHeartRadio app, you miss any of the show, it gets posted up every day on the app. Just check us out at the Sportsocracy. Everywhere on the social medias. Don't forget to go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, and that way you can join us in the chat. We've had all of the moves. Well, not all of them. We've still got moves to go.
Yeah,
but it's been a week.
The heavy hitter stuff has happened.
Yes.
So.
Yes. So, Jeremy, it's time for a mock draft.
Gonna be a mock draft.
It's time for another. I think this is the 17th mock draft so far of the Draftmas season, with at least 24 more to come as we head up to the big day at the end of next month. 2024 NFL Draft begins with the number one pick with the Chicago Bears, and we all know what's going to happen.
Caleb Williams.
Number 2.
Jaden Daniels.
For the Washington Commanders. Number 3.
That's where it gets. Okay, I don't. There's something about New England that I'm not feeling warm and fuzzy about.
As far as taking a quarterback.
Yes, not at 3. Because you've got to realize that you could get the Godfather offer from the Minnesota Vikings. Ask yourself this, which is better for New England for the long term? Taking Drake May at 3 and putting absolutely nothing around him, which is what you currently have. Or you trade down with Minnesota, you get 11, you get 23, and you get Minnesota's first rounder next year.
It's a no-brainer.
To me, it's a no-brainer, too.
Yes.
To me, it's a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I have happening here. I think that's exactly how this would go.
Minnesota will give up a 1 next year.
I can't believe Minnesota's given up future capital for J.J. McCarthy or Bo Nix, or they know something. You don't see draft trades like this so early, and there's a reason. Because there's so many things that could happen. So the more I have thought about this over the course of the day, I think Minnesota and New England have already conspired something, and what New England told them is, "Yeah, we want your one next year," and there might be some repercussions. Whatever repercussions. That's not a word.
No, you combined like 5 words.
I
there.
did. I did. I don't know what that was.
That's like retribution and. Never mind.
It was a lot of stuff. It was a lot of stuff, and it weren't
ramifications
right.
and.
It was a lot of stuff, and it wasn't right.
Yeah,
we'll
just continue. The retrifications of this are what?
That I feel like New England can. It's not punt, but you've got to look at Chicago and how they have built a roster around the quarterback that's going in place here, and you got to realize we don't have that. We do not have that right now because this roster is just flat out not that good.
Agreed. So New England trades out. Minnesota trades up. And they will take Drake May.
I have a funny feeling that Drake May is going to end up with the Minnesota Vikings. Because you know this. I've been telling you for a year. Minnesota is in love with Drake May.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as that trade came down today, that was the only thing I could think about.
To me, it's one of the only things that makes sense. I don't think that you made this move right now eyeing, I really like Jackson Powers Johnson, and let's hope that he's still there at 23, so let me make the deal now. That doesn't make any sense to me.
It really
If you were going to do that, that's a draft night move. Am I wrong? You don't normally project that kind. Or I wouldn't think that a front office would normally project, well, we think he's going to be there at 23, so let's go ahead and get it done.
Well, the reason that I guess I'm so sensitive to, and it's not sensitive is probably the right word, but I experienced this. My Jets made a move in the Josh Allen, Sam Darnold, Lamar Jackson year to get up to 3 with the Indianapolis Colts.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing I could think about leading into that draft night is I know they're really high on Sam Darnold. I had heard they were high on Baker Mayfield, and please God tell me that you didn't make this move to get Baker Mayfield. So you had to have some form of intel going in of how this was going to go, or you could end up with massive amounts of egg on your face.
Yes.
Now, in hindsight, that egg would have been Josh Allen, and I would have been way happier. But it did not go that way.
All right, so New England trades out of 3.
Yes.
They get 11 and 23.
And a 1
and
next
a
year
1
from
next
Minnesota.
year. Yes.
And before you tell me what the trade value chart says, just understand, quarterback premium, top 3 picks, the average cost is 130% of what that chart says.
Mm-hmm.
That would cost you that first-round pick.
Now at 4, Arizona's on the clock. They've been wanting MHJ. That's who they'll take.
They
correct?
very quickly say Marvin Harrison Jr.'s name.
Yes.
Like so fast it would actually make your head spin.
Mm-hmm. And then number 5, that's the Los Angeles Chargers.
With the Chargers, before they made the move on Keenan Allen, I had a little bit of a thought of, hey, you could take Joe Alt. You could do a lot of other things here. I'm not so sure that's how that's going to go. But because now I'm looking at the receiving core going, what do you actually have?
I'm taking a wide receiver.
You have Josh Palmer. You have Quentin Johnston. The fact you were willing to make that move on Keenan Allen tells me that there's a player that you feel at least kind of good about. And needing a guy in the slot, I feel like that person is Malik Neighbors. So you take Malik Neighbors, and now I look at that offense now and go, okay. The defense has talent. You just have to have somebody smarter than Brandon Staley, which is not going to be hard to do. You could swing a dead cat and hit at least 10 of them.
Yep. Last year's draft pick was terrible. Quentin Johnston did not work in year one.
Correct.
It's not to say that it won't work moving forward.
It just didn't work last year.
It just didn't work last year. And maybe under this scenario, maybe under this new offense, as long as he's not asked to be the one, or the number one option, I guess, maybe that can work for him. Never know. Number 6, that pick, the New York Football Giants.
There are two ways to look at this. If you're the Giants, you can just take Rome Odunze and be done with it.
Yes. I'm in, done, signed, sealed, delivered.
I don't think that's what they're going to do.
Is this a defensive player?
No, I think it's a trade.
Oh, okay.
So one of the things that I always do with mock drafts is I get to a point where I have to start doing things that are almost nefarious to get guys to the place that they're supposed to be. Those are the teams that tend to trade. And right now I'm looking at a team that has Super Bowl aspirations with one huge hole. And it's the other New York team.
So the Jets.
It's the New York Football Jets.
Okay, the Jets and the Giants make a trade.
Now, you're out of the surge where it costs you crazy amounts to get up there. But if you look at the trade value chart, the difference between 10 and 6 is roughly 300 points. The Jets would have to give up that third-round pick, and they would probably have to give up another third-round pick to get up there. And it may be more than that. They may have to give up next year's 2. I don't know exactly how they get up there. They don't have a 2 this year, so it can't be that. And you're going to have to satiate the Giants. I'm just not sure any of these players actually fit what the Giants are looking for. So you bring in Rome Odunze. I get it. What's the biggest knock on Rome Odunze? He wins contested a lot. And who was the last receiver that the Giants had that won contested a lot? Kenny Golladay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's to me, Rome Odunze in New York, the more I think about, and I love Rome. This is not a shot at Rome. I'm just thinking about how they're going to look at it of we have to get a win. And it has to be almost a thing of we're pushing this can down the road because I don't see a win here for the Giants. Do you? They're another huge loser of free agency to me.
Oh, yeah.
Because you went from Saquon Barkley to Devin Singletary.
No, you're terrible. That's why I said you're punting. Not intentionally. It's not good.
Yeah, and
it's not going well.
For me, it's not punting.
Mm-hmm.
Punting insinuates an intention. This is more. I think somebody said this in our chat yesterday. This is more like an interception.
Yes.
Because you turned the ball over, but you didn't mean to. So I have them trading down to 10 with the Jets. And the Jets go up to 6 and get Joe Alt.
Okay.
And Jet fans, rejoice.
Indeed. And
because
it will
that
cost,
line with Joe Alt would be really, really good.
And it will cost you a premium.
I plugged it in, and it was 10, 72, and next year's second-round pick. That was what it cost.
I could probably get the deal done.
And it might be more.
See if I could squeeze you for another 4, or a couple of 5s.
You can have a slew of 7s in this draft. We'll give you Zach Wilson. What is that worth?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh shoot! That's all we've got.
Oh, do you have a red swing line stapler? I will take one red swing line stapler. Please.
I will take one mag light. It's the best flashlight. Not close.
Okay. And then number 7.
7 is look. Tennessee got raked over hot coals for that deal with Calvin Ridley. I get why you did it. You've got to have a receiver.
You should have just kept the one you had, though.
A.J. Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, and here's the thing. This is, yes, it's cute that you can put that on social media graphic. They didn't want to give A.J. Brown 4 years, $100 million. Yep, that was $46 million ago on the cap. So a 4-year, $100 million deal 2 years ago, there's a big damn difference between that and a 4-year, $92 million deal right now. We also seem to forget Calvin Ridley's still a good receiver. Problem is he got pressed a lot last year. I don't think you can press him as much with DeAndre Hopkins on the other side. Yeah, you had Christian Kirk, but he was operating out of the slot. I think Ridley's going to operate out of the slot more in Tennessee. I think they will add another receiver. It's just not this high. And I just look at this line. I got to have a left tackle. The line is not good.
Mm-hmm.
That's getting better. But at 7, I'll take Olaf Fashanu.
All right, as the number 2 tackle in
and
this
he's
class.
Clearly my number 2. But that's the reason I have the Jets moving up.
I think
because I'm looking at the way this is going, and I can sit here at 10 and have 2 right tackles, and I can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Not with Vice President Ayahuasca. I need a left tackle.
You got to protect him.
And Tennessee needs a left tackle. Fashanu with Skoronski, that's a blind side for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, can we stop with they need to take another quarterback? How many quarterbacks you need before you to go? Let's just see what we have in this one.
Now's not the time.
And you mix it with everything they've got now. I like what Tennessee's done way more than other people do.
The Atlanta Falcons have the 8th pick.
This may possibly be the easiest pick I've ever made. It's
Okay.
Dallas Turner. It's been Dallas Turner. It will probably continue to be Dallas Turner. After what he did at the Combine and how badly they need an edge rusher, I don't see how it goes any other way.
Mm-hmm.
Do you?
No. He's the number 1 on the board.
If it was somebody else, like Dallas Turner got abducted by aliens, who would be the other pick from the Falcons? And I promise you I'm asking this for a reason.
Jared Verse.
Too high. Be Quinyon Mitchell for me, and I wouldn't even think about it.
That's a good one with A.J. Terrell.
Yeah, everybody told me I was out of my mind when I said that a few months ago. Or, well, a month ago after the Senior Bowl. Yeah, if Dallas Turner for some reason wasn't there at 8, I'm 100% sure Quinyon Mitchell would be the choice.
You're probably right about that. But Dallas Turner is here. He's the number 1 edge rusher in this class, and hopefully this is the edge rusher that Atlanta will finally hit in the draft.
Now, I want to go one more pick before we get into the 2 teams after the break that traded selections.
Okay.
Because for the Bears, this worked out perfectly. And you sat here at 9 and got Rome Odunze. And you, let's just say this happened.
Nasty.
Do they have the best set of weapons in the NFL?
It's close, if not, yes.
Name me a team whose receivers are better. With DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and Rome Odunze.
I can't think of one off the top of my head.
I can't either. And with Caleb Williams, I've given you the keys to the Cadillac. If you're as good as some of these people are telling me, we are about to be weird, filthy, freaky nasty. And we in a god-awful NFC where all these teams are old. I could, if it fell this way, I could make the argument that if we were doing a 5-year power ranking of the NFC, the Chicago Bears are the best team in the NFC. With
Be a
that,
very young roster with stars.
super young and super cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Under team control for a long, long time.
Just the opportunity that Chicago Bears fans have been dreaming for all these years.
And now if Rome Odunze happened to be gone, say the Giants stayed in place, I'm not sure they wouldn't go the left tackle. And they're good with Braxton Jones. They feel good about all of those things. That's not my opinion. That's straight from the Bears' mouth.
Mm-hmm.
But I could see a path that if Fashanu or one of those guys fell. The problem is that you got so many players that are dedicated right tackles. So in this scenario, there is no Latham, there is no Fashanu. It's just Fawaga and it's just J.C. Latham, and I don't think anybody projects them as left tackles, and that is the position you would need.
All right, you're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM. At 1,400, had a couple of trades there inside the top 10. We'll pick it back up with pick number 10 in the mid-free agency, early free agency.
We're down to like 5 of the top 100 players left. I think we can call this post.
We'll be right back.
New scratch-offs are out. That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Oh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's tickets pack $370 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 2.93 to 4.24. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
This is the time of year to enjoy life. Stop letting that pain in your joints keep you from doing what you want to do this spring. Call QC Kinetics now. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. I'm talking lasting joint pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. It's a fact. QC Kinetics is literally transforming lives. Their advanced treatments harness your own body's ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Pro athletes have been doing this for decades, but now this life-changing treatment is available for you, so you can walk and run and climb stairs and play golf and move again pain-free. No pain pills, no risky surgery. This is an all-natural solution. QC Kinetics has tens of thousands of satisfied patients who have reclaimed their mobility. Take action now and live your best life this spring and summer. It's a great use of your tax refund check, by the way. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. Phone 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517 in Asheville and in Greenville.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now. Like Alternative Rewind, where alt rock began. R.E.M., The Cure, Depeche Mode, Pretenders, Talking Heads, and more. Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search Alternative Rewind, and listen now. iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP.
The Beast Unleashed.
With 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan. The Beast Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed available at your local retailer.
Welcome to the Ingalls Table, a delicious destination with recipes galore. Need to whip up a dessert, entree, side dish? No problem. The experts from the Ingalls Table take you through it step by step with expert tips and advice along the way. Find the Ingalls Table at ingalls-markets.com or swing by the store and pick up your free copy of the Ingalls Table magazine. And let's get cooking. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man!
We're back at the Sportsocracy here on a free agency frenzy Friday. We're talking football, and it's basketball season. Just a quick update here. You got a 3-point game. Number 3 Purdue, 67-64 on Michigan State.
Whoa.
Keeping an eye on all of it? No?
Nope.
You're not?
Don't
Really?
care.
Not wagering on the college basketball?
Not a game I can't watch.
Really?
We're kind of in the middle of something here, so sorry I can't be locked into something that's happening behind my head.
We are in the midst of the mid-free agency mock draft here in the Sportsocracy. Number 10 pick. You had 2 trades in the top 10 there, Jeremy, as your New York Jets traded up from 10 to 6 with the New York Giants. So the Giants fall back to 10. What do?
This is where it gets a little fun for me because the Giants are still in the same uncomfortable boat that they were in before. But there is a player that makes sense. Brock Bowers. I need a player that's versatile and can catch, and Brock Bowers is a player that is versatile and can catch.
Well, that's unfortunate for Brock. Way to waste that career. Yay.
Well, I mean, look, he doesn't have a player that can throw to him off the jump, but he will in time when they figure out, hey, why did we pay Daniel Jones? Why could we not have franchised Daniel Jones and signed Saquon long term? Oh, wait, that's what we should have done.
Exactly.
Oops. But we'll enjoy Chris Manhertz in the at the passing time.
All right, Brock Bowers to the New York Giants at number 10.
And New England just sits there and goes, oh, shoot! That's what we were going to do. We need 5 tight ends.
Constantly, apparently. So what does New England do now?
Well, you do have a hole at quarterback. There is clearly a 4th best quarterback prospect. And you have that extra buffer of picks.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you don't have to have this kid be good right away. I don't think he needs to play off the jump. I'm going to let him sit behind Jacoby Brissett for a year. Just know that I'm not going to be good. At number 11, I'm going J.J. McCarthy. Is it a lottery ticket? Absolutely.
Yep.
The good thing is Minnesota overpaid to get to 3 because they're in love with Drake May. There is a path. J.J. McCarthy's a better pro than every quarterback in this class not named Caleb Williams.
You just don't know.
You just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You do not know.
He's had limited time, limited starting experience in college in an offense that you didn't see him throw a lot in. I don't know. If you're there at 11, okay, yeah, you do have more platitude to let him sit. But I don't think it's for an entire season.
And it may not be an entire season.
Okay.
I don't know that it's an entire season. It might be half a year. I just don't want him starting week 1. I don't want there to be any pressure. I feel like New England is the place that he can have low pressure. I also feel like he's the one that can work in a system early that doesn't have a lot around him. Joshua Penix asked if I think there's any truth to the Giants taking McCarthy at 6. I considered taking him at 10.
You should have.
I don't think they would take him at 6. If they traded down, he was sitting there at 10, and they just but what Notorious B.I.G. said, but Darren Waller. Yeah, if they get out Darren Waller right now, they'd do it.
They would. It didn't work out for them last year.
No, Darren Waller works in one place, and it's with the Oakland Raiders.
That's fair. Number 12, that pick belongs to the Denver Broncos.
I don't love this, but this is how I think it would go, not necessarily what I would do. Bo Nix,
yes,
quarterback out of Oregon.
That's exactly what I was hoping you were going to say there. Because Bo Nix is a quarterback that I could see Sean Payton being excited about.
I can too.
Having a lot of knowledge of different schemes. He's had 6 different schemes or something like that in his trips with Auburn and with Oregon. And he's done relatively well in all of them. I know we banged on him because he can't win on the road.
He couldn't win on the road.
But, I mean, that's the winning on the road is hard to do in college football, especially when you're playing in the SEC. But he progressed every year. He got better every year. He got smarter every year, and he got more accurate every year. And that's what Sean Payton could look at a rookie quarterback and go, okay, I don't like the fact that I got a rookie, but at least I got the most accurate one with the smartest IQ, which I think Bo Nix is revered as.
I don't know that I agree with what you just said.
Okay.
He's the most accurate. I'll go with that. You put him in a confined system like this, I think he'll be just fine.
13th pick.
I think this team would run to the podium.
The Las Vegas Raiders to go grab the top corner.
Quinyon Mitchell, cornerback out of Toledo. And I'm not sure they wouldn't be the happiest team in the NFL.
They should be, because it's their biggest need, and I would never have thought that, you would have gotten it.
That's what happens when 5 quarterbacks go in the top 12 picks.
Mm-hmm.
You get a player like Quinyon Mitchell that falls right in your lap there, and now you look at that defense and go, whoa, that's not going to be fun.
Takes away a lot of my problems.
And Gardner Minshew can score points. I think he's going to beat out Aiden O'Connell. Even if he doesn't, that means O'Connell was pretty good and had to progress. I think the Raiders they're right there on the precipice. And you look at the addition of Christian Wilkins, you got 4 dudes on that line that are terrifying. I mean, that for me that's an all season that I can go A+.
Mm-hmm.
You win. You win. You got the best player on the board at a position of need. You got the best player on the board in the draft that should not have been there because I have him in my top 7 overall. And that was a position of need. And now your defense is way better. Your offense is in way better hands with Gardner Minshew than it was with Jimmy Garoppolo. And I like where things are headed.
Number 14, New Orleans Saints.
This is a tougher pick for me because there's a player that if they hadn't just restructured Ryan Ramczyk, I would just run to the podium with Talise Fuaga. But now looking at this and being 100% objective, there are 2 players that I have to at least discuss. Fuaga is one.
Mm-hmm.
What is the biggest area of need right now for the New Orleans Saints?
Linebacker?
Defensive tackle.
Defensive tackle.
They don't have anybody on the inside of that on the inside of that defensive line that could play dead in a cowboy movie. I think you can add to the line later in this class.
Okay.
Defensive tackle gets thin in a hurry. Byron Murphy, defensive tackle out of Texas. I had him too low in the last mock I did. I just couldn't find a place that made sense. New Orleans makes sense. And I know not every Saint fan is going to be overjoyed with that, but you've thrown bad money at defensive tackles, and you need somebody that can legit get after a quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Let's go to number 15, the Indianapolis Colts.
Not sure that there would be a happier team in the NFL. Because they have their pick of every corner on the board. So you got Kenny Moore back. He plays in the slot.
Mm-hmm.
I need somebody that can play on the outside. And for me, there is one no-doubter corner that's still left on the board. It's Terrion Arnold, cornerback out of Alabama. And I'll take that all the way to the bank. I think my offense is going to be good. I think my offense is going to be able to score with Anthony Richardson. Now I'm boosting the defense to take some of the heat off of him. I'm good with all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Wools asked what the Vikings gave up to get up to New England. It was 11-23 and next year's 1. I can't tell you that it would be that high. It might be next year's. It can't be the 2. That's where that runs into the problem, is that they gave up next year's 2 to get 23. It's a lot, but we have a history of it's 130% of the trade value chart, which is what that adds up to.
Mm-hmm.
Those 2 picks get you right on the outside of in between the 3rd and the 4th pick, just on that value alone. Next year's pick is estimated at the value of the 16th pick in the first round.
So the Indianapolis...
It may not be that much. That's totally me spitballing.
The Indianapolis Colts, in making this move to get Terrion Arnold, then their 3 starters would be him, Zaire Franklin, and Kenny Moore?
Zaire Franklin's a linebacker.
Is he?
Yes.
Oh, I got cornerback written down here. My bad.
You said that, and I was like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. That ain't right. Who's the 3rd?
Oh, if you hadn't asked me, I could have told you. Juju Brents.
Yes.
The kid out of Kansas State took last year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's pretty
Franklin's
formidable. That's pretty formidable.
Sorry, you said that and blood came out of my ears. I was like, wait a minute. I'm
Sorry, I had CB written down instead of linebacker. My bad. Number 16, Seattle Seahawks.
I feel like Seattle's a team that would like to trade down. I'm just not sure that there's going to be anybody that's jumping up to do it. And you know me, when I find a fit that I really like, I stay pretty consistent with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's Jackson Powers Johnson, the center out of Oregon. Now you've got a line that is super formidable. And I don't really have a lot of worries. I like I like the young core you have on the defense.
Mm-hmm.
I love your weapons. I love the fact you got Sam Howell for, I think, 50 cents on the dollar. But now I've got to make sure he's protected. And yes, I do think he will be the starter in Seattle sooner than later, because Geno Smith This is coming as a West Virginia feller and a New York Jet feller. Sucks. Outside of that 1 year where he didn't. And I'm not sure he didn't sell his soul to the devil the same way Joe Namath did for Super Bowl III.
All right, you're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, picking it up with the bottom half of the first round of the 2024 latest Flostradamus mock draft here amid free agency. Continues next here in the Sportsocracy.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Dodging wet weather this afternoon, especially toward dinner time. Best chance of scattered showers, thunderstorms, so certainly having impact after we get to about 70 degrees. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms around early after midnight. We should see things settle down. Low of 50, and then a great-looking weekend coming up. We're down a few degrees on Saturday, upper 60s and sunny. Down a few more Sunday, sunny mid-60s, and even more on Monday. Sunny 50 from the Weather Channel. Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by First Restoration Services.
Fire, flood, wind damage, arguably a homeowner's worst nightmare. For nearly 4 decades, First Restoration Services has been helping people recover from disasters with trust, integrity, speed, and quality. If you have a disaster, call them today, 1-800-537-6151, or online at frs247.com.
Imagine a world where every individual has the chance to reach their full potential. For over 60 years, ARC of Buncombe County has made that vision a reality for children and adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. But right now, ARC urgently needs heroes, compassionate people like you who can step forward and make a difference. Every donation is a lifeline. Visit arcofbuncombecounty.org to donate now. That's arcofbuncombecounty.org. Be an ARC hero.
This election year, there are so many issues that divide us.
Which candidate will wind up with the task of trying to unite us?
Join us as the future unfolds on News Radio 570 WWNC.
Western North Carolina's election station.
We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine, and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
It's the moment you dream of, the moment you work for.
To buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch. And we're back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Free Agency Friday continuing here with a special little mock draft.
Well, you got this much movement, you got to have mock draft. We're only going to have like 43 more of these between now and the end of April.
That's right, sparking this, obviously all the free agency moves, but also the trade today, the Minnesota Vikings picking up another first-round draft pick, which we believe that that was just a play to get more capital to move up from 11 to a higher draft spot, which played out in this here little exercise.
I do find it funny that our friends at DraftKings also posted hypothetical trade. Minnesota trades 11 and 23 to get up to 3 with New England. We didn't plan that.
We done did it.
We talk a lot, but we did not plan that.
Yeah, they moved up to 3 to get Drake May. They ended up having to give up first-round pick next year, along with 2 first-round picks in this draft to do so.
Don't commit me to that. I don't know that that's what the price would be. I'm spitballing there. We're still very young into them having this pick.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just what I think it would cost based off past experience.
Number 17 pick belongs to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
They wouldn't think. Taliese Fuaga, offensive tackle out of Oregon State.
I'm surprised he fell this far.
The only spot I really even considered him was to New Orleans. The Jets took care of right tackle. I know they were in love with him, but he's not playing on the left.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at Jacksonville with the issue they have with Cam Robinson, because he's going to miss some time after being suspended, yeah, I'm also not sure he's on that roster. I think there's possibility Anton Harrison's on the left, Fuaga's on the right, and they just move off of Cam Robinson entirely.
Right. So he has to be on the right. He can't play on the left.
No.
Okay.
Not to me. I think he's better as a guard than he is as anything, but I do think he can hold up as a right tackle and be a really good one.
Number 18, Cincinnati Bengals. Brock Bowers is long off the board, so no more of that nonsense.
Well, and it's not really nonsense. I think there's a possibility that happens. We do this every year with positions that are not premium positions that we just keep pushing these guys down the board. And NFL teams laugh at that. There's no way a player that good is going to fall that far. I'm sticking with exactly who I had in my last mock with Cincinnati. It's J.C. Latham. They're killed on that right side. Look, Jonah Williams moved on to the Cardinals. I get it. You've got to have somebody that can protect Joe Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
And Jackson Carman ain't that dude.
No, he's not.
And I like J.C. Latham with the Bengals. I don't like him in a lot of scenarios, but I do like him.
And Cody Ford's not the answer either.
No.
They just picked him up, too.
Yeah, he's bounced around the league like a ping pong ball. It ain't him.
It's fine to add some depth to the roster, but going with a tackle here, not the worst move that I've seen. The Los Angeles Rams have the 19th pick.
Is this the hardest team to mock at this point? Because they have so many holes. I feel like the Aaron Donald thing has just completely made me look at this roster completely differently.
Well, is this where you go with like a Jerzon Newton to try to replace him?
I don't think so, because you've already got 2 pieces in place there. I'm just not sure that you don't tackle that later, because you have huge. Now that you know definitively you're not going to have him, what does that mean? It means your secondary is going to have to get better, and you're going to have way less of Kobe Durant.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going Cooper DeJean.
Okay.
I think he fits what they do, and that gives you actually a legit second corner. They brought back Darius Williams. He's worked in this system in the past. To me, that gives you 2 legit corners, and you're not just going to get picked apart. Are you going to play a lot of zone? Yeah, you are. But I don't know. I don't think Johnny Newton fixes that problem. And then you still have a huge hole there, and you're not going to have another ability to fix it.
Right.
There are other players that I can get to play on that end later on. Because that's more of a niche position. Not every team would have any value in that. I'm also not 100% sure that's Johnny Newton's best position. I think he's better. I shouldn't say it that way. We don't have time for me to explain exactly why I said that. Just somebody put a pin in that and remind me to do that when we have more time.
So the Rams going corner with Cooper DeJean out of Iowa. That would give them another move where they've added to this secondary. They've already picked up Cameron Curl, we said today.
Yes.
Safety, and then Darius Williams as well. They're bringing him back, he ended up getting a big deal from Jacksonville after he was so good in this system the first time.
He got a
around.
reasonable deal with them.
Number 20, Pittsburgh Steelers. Can this pick be worse than the Kenny Pickett pick at number 20?
No.
2 years ago.
No, but I'll tell you something I didn't really expect. I did not expect to be looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers going, my God, you have got to have a weapon of some kind. because it's George Pickens, and can you name the other 2 starting receivers for them right now?
Oh, no. I don't believe I can.
Calvin Austin III.
Yikes. He's still in the league?
And Denzel Mims.
Woof.
That's the 2 starting receivers other than George Pickens.
Holy cow.
Yeah, see, life comes at
Do
you
they not
fast.
have J.J. Arcega-Whiteside still? Or
he never played there, but that was a nice gift from you. So for me, this is pretty easy. I need somebody on the opposite side of Pickens, so I'll go Brian Thomas Jr., wide receiver out of LSU.
Good pick there. What's he do best?
He bees real big, and he bees real fast. He reminds me, Brian Thomas Jr., if you want a comp, and I don't like comps at all, take what everybody thought Terrace Marshall was going to be, and he's that plus about 25%. Which is funny because Terrace Marshall was about 25% of what people thought Terrace Marshall was going to be. But I like Brian Thomas a lot. And I don't see a path that he's getting. I don't necessarily know that he even gets this far. Like, if Rome Odunze's not there at 9, don't be shocked if the Bears take Brian Thomas.
Okay.
Because he would be a really good compliment to DJ Moore and to Keenan Allen.
Number 21, the Miami Dolphins on the clock here.
With the Dolphins, I've just kind of figured out there's nothing I can say here that you're going to be happy with. Dolphin fans, I believe, just want to be angry at the world.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter who I pick for them, they're not going to like it. Because I take any of the tackles, they're too raw. You looked at that line? Look, okay, so Teron Armstead goes down. What exactly are you going to do? And at this point, that's happened so many times that you almost have to assume that it's going to happen. I mean, if you tell me if I'm wrong, because I catch heat on the Dolphins every time we do this.
Mm-hmm. You're not wrong.
Okay, just making sure. So for me, it's between 2 rawer tackles. So it's either Tyler Guyton out of Oklahoma or the one that has the higher upside, which is who I'm going to take, which is Amarius Mims.
Amarius Mims.
And yes, he's raw. I get it. I 100% get it. You want other things. I also get that. I'm going to need you to tell me what that is.
He's also going to help you a lot when you're running the ball.
Oh, we need a pass rusher. Well, you have 2 of those. You just kept blowing their knees out in games that were already over.
Oh.
And Anthony Weaver's system does not really fit Leatu Latu or Jared Burrs.
Why not Troy Fatano in that spot?
I'm not as fond of him as everybody else is.
Okay.
I keep seeing him in top 20s, and
yes.
I just don't really understand it. He's a really good piece. I just don't know exactly what position he plays. And I also don't understand how people watch him and go, yeah, I'll take that ahead of Amarius Mims or Tyler Guyton, because I don't see that.
The Philadelphia Eagles have the 22nd pick.
Don't even think about it. Nate Wiggins, cornerback out of Clemson. I need somebody that can actually cover somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And in that Vic Fangio system, James Bradbury ain't going to cut it. Big play Slay might, but it would be really nice if I had somebody that could run with the high-end, faster receivers. And Nate Wiggins is a guy that can do that. And yes, I know he's thin. I get it. So is Devontae Smith. That didn't worry Howie Roseman. I don't think this is going to worry Howie Roseman.
They just brought C.J. Gardner-Johnson back as well on a 3-year deal to
but
play
he's not
that.
An outside safety.
No, he plays that like hybrid role, corner, safety, somewhere in there. Number 23.
Hold on, I got to go back to a. Let's see. Oh yeah, you're right. Cam Robinson was suspended last year, not this year. My bad. It was in my notes of he could be released because of the suspension, because there's ways to get out of the money. That was my bad. Trying to do 32 picks in an hour, I say things that are not. Sometimes I look at my notes and my mouth goes faster than my brain does.
Number 23 pick. That belongs to the New England Patriots after the earlier trade.
And New England, to me, this is just a place where I have to take the best player on the board. And it's ironic that you asked me this the way that you did, because the best player on my board that actually fits New England is Troy Fautanu. And I just kind of look at him with, I like that they brought back Michael Onwenu. I couldn't believe they actually let him hit the open market. And I just look at that line now, and I feel like you would be better off with Fatano and have Okorafor as your swing.
Mm-hmm.
I want to add them a receiver. I just don't know exactly who that's supposed to be. I mean, I got to pick at 34. Fatano's not going to be there at 34. And so I think I'll wait, knowing that I've still got Xavier Worthy, A.D. Mitchell, Keon Coleman. There's a ton of receivers left. There's only a couple linemen left. Yep. So I'll go Troy Fatano to the New England Patriots.
All right, last one before we take our last break of the week. Number 24, Dallas Cowboys.
You know where I'm going here. It's Jared Verse, edge rusher, Florida State.
Wow.
I told everybody they were crazy that he was going to fall. And here I've got him and Latu both on the board at this point, which it sounds insane. It's not.
Find a spot.
It's not, because they're both going to be in situational roles to begin with. And Dallas, that fits nicely. Yeah, they need a defensive tackle. You just took Mozzie Smith. And it's not like you fired the GM. You can go, oh, he was crazy. No, you did that. That was your pick.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. We'll be back to wrap it up next.
Imagine a world where every individual has the chance to reach their full potential. For over 60 years, ARC of Buncombe County has made that vision a reality for children and adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. But right now, ARC urgently needs heroes, compassionate people like you who can step forward and make a difference. Every donation is a lifeline. Visit arcofbuncombecounty.org to donate now. That's arcofbuncombecounty.org. Be an ARC hero.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else, and we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. Get started today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Hey, it's Mark Starling from First News on 570, and I've been going to Summit Dental in Asheville with Dr. Chad Reinhardt for years. They're fantastic, but you don't have to take my word for it. Check out some of these 5-star reviews from Google. After searching for a dentist for months, I finally found this place. I needed some serious dental work, and they got me in within a week. If you're anxious about going to the dentist, I assure you this is the place that can give you a new outlook on having dental work done. They're upfront, honest, and caring people who only want the best for their patients. You gotta check out Summit Dental in Asheville with Dr. Chad Reinhardt, home of the Comfort Menu.
Thursday, April 11th, the Orange Peel presents the Disco Biscuits. Get your tickets now online at theorangepeel.net. Don't miss the Disco Biscuits live April 11th. See you at the Peel.
The luck of the Irish awaits you at the 17th edition of the Asheville Catholic School Shamrock 5K, 10K, and Fun Run on Saturday, March 16th. In addition to fun, challenging, and scenic courses in North Asheville, the Shamrock races offer the best post-race food and experience in Asheville, complete with a costume contest for best Shamrock-themed outfits. All the proceeds benefit the O'Brien and William Edward Gibbs Memorial Scholarship Fund. For more information and to get signed up, go to gloryhoundevents.com. gloryhoundevents.com. Proudly sponsored by iHeartMedia Asheville.
Spring has sprung and it's full tilt boogie time at GiveMeTheVin.com, America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Sandstone Health and Rehabilitation is known for compassionate care for all across its 18 North Carolina locations. Whether your loved one needs short-term rehabilitation or long-term care, our exceptional staff and comprehensive services are here to support their recovery or ongoing needs.
Welcome to the Ingalls Table, a delicious destination with recipes galore. Need to whip up a dessert, entree, side dish? No problem. The experts from the Ingalls Table take you through it step by step, with expert tips and advice along the way. Find the Ingalls Table at ingles-markets.com or swing by the store and pick up your free copy of the Ingalls Table magazine. And let's get cooking. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
It is ESPN Asheville, final segment of the week here in the Ingles studio. What are you snickering at over there?
The Pittsburgh Steelers are sending Kenny Pickett to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
All
right.
So basically
Russell
what
Wilson
you're telling me
is
we'll take any quarterback not named Justin Fields. That's just where we're at, right? Doesn't matter how big a bum you are.
Or
we will take any quarterback not named Justin Fields.
Or do we go get Justin Fields and let Russ be the backup?
I was talking about every team in the NFL that keeps making moves for quarterbacks that aren't Justin Fields.
Oh, I thought you were talking specifically about the Pittsburgh Steelers.
No.
Now we can go get Justin Fields because nobody else wants him.
I am almost 100% convinced that Justin Fields will be working at the Home Depot for the 2024 season. We're running out of spots for you to go, my friend. We boiled this down to 5 teams. Philadelphia was one of those 5. And good.
I think Steelers take their spot.
I don't.
No?
I don't.
Okay. Well, continuing with the post-free agency mock draft.
Yep, and we'll have to go reasonably fast because we're running out of time.
Yes, we are. Number 25.
Green Bay Packers, Graham Barton out of Duke. I got to figure out something on the left side. I think it's Zach Tom because I'm not dead set that Tyler Guyton can slide in there off the jump. I know Graham Barton can play off the jump, and it might be that he ends up playing center down the line, but he can slide in on the right side to begin with.
Now, go ahead and book it. Put your money on that because that's how that's going to go because that's the guy I'd want at number 26.
No, you know who you're getting at 26.
Number 26, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Chop Robinson.
Yeah.
Edge rusher out of Penn State.
I'll take him too.
Yeah, he's really mobile. He can stand up. I think that's the Shaq Barrett replacement.
No doubt. Arizona at 27.
Arizona, it's the same name you've heard 500 times. And, yes, I do think he's going to be there. Jerzon Newton, defensive tackle out of Illinois. It's not that he's scheme specific. It's just I don't see a lot of teams that's their biggest need. And there were a couple guys that pushed themselves up the board. So he's falling, not because he's not as good a player, but because people have rised up past him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's another one. I just keep putting him right there at 27. I've done it in every mock, I think.
At 28.
Laiatu Latu to the Buffalo Bills. I have not heard he got medically cleared at the combine yet, which I was expecting, and then it didn't happen. And that's starting to wonder, why is nobody talking about him? Is he going to be that guy that falls because there's a medical thing that none of us know about? And I'm getting to the point of I think that might be a problem.
Number 29.
There's no team in the league. One of the hardest teams in the league to prognosticate is the Lions. If Graham Barton was still here, that would have been my pick because they do have a hole at guard. There's not really a guard that I feel great about taking right here. So I'm going to take a player that you're going to have to take the journey with me. A.D. Mitchell, wide receiver out of Texas. Khalif Raymond is a gadget player. I need somebody big that can go get footballs and get some of that traffic away from Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, you do.
And they've done such a good job of addressing needs that if there's not a burning need, I can take the best player on the board.
I love it. I love that pick. A.D. Mitchell going at number 29 to the Detroit Lions. At number 30, the Baltimore Ravens.
Kool-Aid McKinstry, cornerback Alabama.
You might as well just give him what he wants.
Well, it's not even that. I think he's going to go in the first round, and I can't find any other place that he goes. I can't find another landing spot that makes that much sense.
Nasty, super talented, fits the Baltimore scheme. Number 31, San Francisco.
Braden Fiske, defensive tackle, Florida State. You got to have somebody who can get after a quarterback. You're wanting to throw 443 pieces out there. It'd be great if one of them could actually rush a passer. And I think Fiske can.
Yes, he can. And then number 32, your reigning defending champions, the Kansas City Chiefs.
I feel like there would be a trade here. I just don't know to who. I feel like all the quarterback pieces have been solved. And so I don't really have one that makes all that much sense. I mean, name me the team that's going to make the move on Michael Penix. if you look at the quarterback dominoes, one of them is going to fall, and I think it's him. So with Kansas City, I still feel like you need another piece, and, well, there's one that makes a whole mess of sense. Ladd McConkey, wide receiver out of Georgia.
Oh, that's almost not fair.
Hey, I need a receiver that can catch. Let's go get the best hands in the draft.
Ladd McConkey would be a hell of an addition to the Kansas City Chiefs, to a team that's already added Hollywood Brown to that wide receiver corps.
Boom. We'll post that up on the social medias. You can let us know what you think about it, but there's one thing that you already know what we think about it. That's DraftKings Sportsbook. And that's who brought you this here mock draft. They're also bringing you wagers here to the Tar Heel State because we've gone live with sports betting in this state. You're now able to bet all your favorite sports, college basketball, NASCAR, anything you want from the privacy of your home, from your mobile phone with DraftKings Sportsbook. For a limited time, new customers who sign up with promo code WPEK and bet $5 will receive $250 instantly in bonus bets. Whether you prefer playing player props, same-game parlays, or you just want to take that heater in the money line, you can do it all with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now using code WPEK and bet $5 to get $250 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code WPEK. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only, new customers only. Subject to regulatory licensing requirements. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit, wagering, and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook/NC.
It is the Sportsocracy, and we will be back with you right here in the Ingalls studio on Monday at noon. We will see you then. Have a great weekend.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Dodging wet weather this afternoon, especially toward dinner time. Best chance of scattered showers, thunderstorms, so certainly having impact after we get to about 70 degrees. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms around early after midnight. We should see things settle down. Low of 50, and then a great-looking weekend coming up. We're down a few degrees on Saturday, upper 60s and sunny. Down a few more Sunday, sunny, mid-60s, and even more on Monday. Sunny 50 from the Weather Channel. Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Juicy Juice. No matter what the day brings, count on Juicy Juice for the good stuff. Give kids the nutrients of real 100% fruit juice to help them conquer the day with no sugar added and no artificial sweeteners. Find Juicy Juice at your favorite local grocery retailer. Info at juicyjuice.com.
Hi, can I get a scratch off?
Whoa, time out!
Who are you?
I'm your Play Smarts champ. I'm here to help you make informed decisions before you play the lottery. Do you know how the odds work?
Not really.
Well, every scratch-off has the odds of winning printed on the back. And the odds show us how many winners there are overall in the game, but not where we'll find them.
So buying tickets in a row doesn't guarantee that one of them will be a winner.
That's right, Chief. Winning is random.
Got it, Coach.
When you play the lottery, play smart. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.